Cool. We're live, and I have everything. Yeah, I have everything. Let's head on down to the worst place in Ireland, which is the cult of Scientology here in Dublin. So we're just about 5 minutes walk away from it. Yeah, I've left nothing behind me. Just doing a quick check. I've left nothing behind me, and I hope I'm audible. Hey, Cathy, how are you? Just heading down, making my way down to the cult of Scientology here in Dublin. And it's turned out to be a rather nice afternoon here. It was raining earlier, but it's nice and relatively sunny. It's not too windy. So I'm hoping we don't get the wind gusts that they were promising earlier, because I don't fancy spending half my time chasing me posters. So I have my new cult hat on me today, and Roger's his matching headband. Oh, there we see the cult there in the foreground. Hey Peter, how are you? Yeah, hopefully we won't get any of the wind gusts that they're promising, because it's relatively mild here now. So long may that continue. And I'll just wait here for the green man. Traffic isn't that heavy, but there's still a constant stream though, so we'll wait. Wait until it's safe to cross. Let me see. Oh dear God, what setting have I got this camera on? Oh, we got the green man. I'm gonna have to learn how to work out to use these bloody buttons at some stage. That's moving around much too loosely, so I've the wrong setting on. Let me see. What does that do for me? Whoa, that's much. Hang on. What does this one do? Maybe that's a better. Oh no, Jesus Christ! Christ Almighty! Okay, come back. Oh Jesus Christ! What am I doing? Flip lads. Okay. What I just done there is obviously something not to do. No idea what buttons I pressed. So this gimbal has a mind of its own. Hey Antics, how are you? Just approaching the cluster Scientology here. Might just flick the. I just walk by this bus stop first. There's a few kids there before I flick the camera around. Hey Brian, how are you? Hi Marcus, we're heading towards a cult of Scientology in Dublin to do some protesting and to spread awarenesses about the many abuses of Scientology. Just click that. I know what you're doing. Is he doing some sort of roadworks there across the way? Not quite sure what to do. Oh, you see the local residents have the no event parking sign up. I don't know if you guys can see that there. That's what the residents had to put up, no event parking, to try and stop the cult from parking inside there. Oh Jesus, what have I done? Hang on. Oh, flip. Okay, we're back. These sausage fingers of mine will get me into serious trouble one of these days. Hey Donna, how are you? Mark is saying, heard about the Scientology. Apparently, you know them, they'll put you on the blacklist. Oh, for sure, Marcus, they will. They believe in fair game. So anyone who dares speak out and tell the truth about the cult of Scientology, they'll fair game to the hilt. They try to proactively discourage anyone from speaking the truth to help keep their members trapped inside. There's only one source of the truth that the cult members can hear, and that is what has been written by LRH and enforced then by the current leader of David Miscavige. So it's very much just keeping them trapped in. They're not allowed to look at any outside sources. And someone like me did deem me as being a suppressive person. They must obviously be completely and utterly deluded and being paid. And even worse, I think Us who protests to spread awareness about the truth, they think we're being paid by Big Pharma to spread lies about them. Like, for fuck's sake. I wouldn't mind some money from Big Pharma. Them lads have plenty of dash, that's for sure. Yeah, Freemasons are another secret society. I think any organisation that does stuff on the cloak and dagger, shall we say, that does things in secrecy, I think we're right to be very sceptical of what and just to be aware. Oh, there's someone going in. I wonder is that a Scientologist? Could well be. Oh, that's a funny looking briefcase. I wonder is that an e-meter she's carrying, or close material? That lady walking in there. There's definitely some sort of a black briefcase thing attached to her arm. Let's see, can I safely cross here? Okay. Oh, it's just clear. Oh, just quickly cross there. So they're busy enough in there, all right. They have the LRH birthday celebration is at from 5 o'clock. But they've also been doing they have a children's event that they have advertised that they're running, I think it was from 1:30 to 4:30. And then they're also doing a free cultural Indian event here to try and get the innocent people in. And also I suspect to give the illusions to the Scientologists travelling over from all over Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland, that this place is bumping, that they have all these events on today. You know yourself, lads. Everything these guys do are smoke and mirrors. Nothing is upfront and transparent. I don't dare go in any further. But for now, there's no cars parked up along the side. Yeah, the car park still has a few spaces left, and there's not that much room they do actually really have in their car parks, front and back. The fuck up, like maybe 100, 200 cars. 200 cars maybe is all they can fit in. For somewhere where they have their auditorium in there is like 1,300 of a seater. You'd think they'd have more car parking spaces. Like they do have that space there with the football pitch. That it does, but it does puzzle me why they don't just convert that into car park. But I guess they want to try and use that to get kiddies in. So what time we're at? 3:30. They're probably Scientologists then calling in here at this time. Hey Haggis, how are you? Hi, we have someone from South Korea here. How's it going? We're here outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. So I guess when you're travelling over, you probably would be being told to come here early. Be interesting now to see does the car park fill up much more than what it is already. Hey Joe, how are you? Yeah, there's not too many spaces left in the car park, but then again, like it's a pretty small car park considering. But the size of the building, lads, you'd think they'd have more car parking there. Especially when they advertise in all their brochure that they have free parking. But then I guess of a normal day, this place is pretty isolated, unless they run one of these entrapment events. Ah, it is a lovely day here now, Joe. It was raining there earlier, but for now it's nice and sunny. And it's not too windy either, which is good. Pretty good day to be out for a bit of a walkabout. Now they're not going in. Austin Short, them two lads are going into the cult. But now they're not, that's good. They look like definitely one Indian gentleman there. They do seem to do a lot of Indian events in this place. So they definitely are. They are aggressively targeting the Indian population here, which is a shame to see. And I think we did see one of the events that we seen on here last year looked like a wealthy Indian family having one of them baby shower events here. So they've definitely managed to ensnare some Indians. And I guess that in itself makes it easier then to pull in more Indians settled here. Because obviously, who are you going to believe? You're going to believe one of your own. You're going to believe a native Indian speaker over the local Irish population. Do you know what I mean? And you're probably reading a lot of the Indian-based material here, which you'd wonder how much of that is written by Indian-based Scientologists. So definitely something for me to keep an eye on and try and if I can at all pop out here when there is these events on, to at least try and plant some seeds of doubt that maybe this isn't a harmless, benign cult. And even like I can fully understand these guys not understanding when they call themselves a church and a community centre. You can understand how some would be innocently fooled into coming in here thinking, "Oh, this is just a place running a free event for some tea and bickies and whatnot." Antics saying just took a year and a half and so I'm begging and the green torn it aside, mad. Oh, exactly, antics. But I don't think of these things at all. Yeah, there's two well dressed Indian ladies there. So are they just here for the free Indian event or are they Indian Scientologists? Or maybe they're part of the event. Maybe they're just two ladies here doing some of the dancing. It's hard to know because I will say the Indians do tend to get dressed very well for these events anyway. So all I'm going to do is I think I'll put out my forms. Yeah, I seen that antics are for a game Enrica's friend in Portland telling his boss flip fibs. Like for fuck's sake, is that the worst thing they could accuse someone of flipping the finger like? Big fucking muppy do. Maybe he deserved the finger being flipped. And anyway, the guy was outside smoking, so he's on his break. Do you know what I mean? Like how it just shows how petty and protected they are. That they have no legitimate complaints, that they make up stupid things. Do you know what I mean? Gold Mertitus dickhead donors working on OT6. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, they were, isn't he? And isn't he head of OSA over there as well? So he must have some business smarts that he has the money to be donating over £1,000,000 to them. But for fuck's sake, he has zero common sense. It seems to be something that they have less and less common sense the further up the bridge they go. But then I guess that's the cult mindset, isn't it, lads? You're discouraged. You're proactively encouraged not to think for yourself, to believe what is drip fed to you, and take what LRH says as a complete and utter gospel, the only source of the truth. And not only that, to believe David Miscavige's twisted version of it. That's why I love wearing the high vis because you can see I really do stand out with my high vis gear. Absolutely love wearing the high vis gear when I come out here. I think this in itself speaks volumes. Why would just someone be here in the high vis gear? I think straight away I stand out with someone who is protesting against the cult. And I'm just hoping that plants some seeds of doubt into these guys in there that will do their own independent research. Because there will be some people getting some friendly beeps there, which is nice to know that the locals appreciate me being here. Just hope to plant some seeds of doubt because there will be some people in here who are members of the public. They're not yet cult members. So hopefully me being here will be enough to prevent them from accidentally becoming cult members at some point in the future. So there should definitely looks like there has been some turnout for the Indian event that's on here today. Which I think the Indian event is runs from something like 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And it's a free event. And you know, for anything that's a free event with this cult, it's all to do with entrapment. It's try and cod members into thinking these guys are a friendly, benign place. and maybe come in, do a free personality test, maybe sign up for one of their courses. Yeah, so there's okay. So the Indian event maybe is over, is it? Or at least it looks like people are starting to leave. Are they starting to leave? Or are they going back in? Oh, their ones have maybe gone back in. Maybe they forgot something. But I do think with the children's event they had on and with the Indian event that both were free of charge. I think it's all to create the illusion to the cult members turn up for LRH's birthday that this org is absolutely happened. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about smoke and mirrors. And I'm going to pop you guys on the hang on. Pop you guys on the ground while I put me posters. That way have I got my camera shown. Maybe I'll put it the other way and I'll show you Roger. I'll give Roger will keep you guys company. That's what we'll do. Now, Roger's my protesting buddy. He accompanies me these days on my protests. There you go, Roger. And he has a lovely matching headscarf or headband to go with my cult hat. There you go. Oops. Now, be nice, Roger. Keep these lovely people company there. Oh man, I'll never get the hang of that gimbal, I don't think. Maybe one day I will. Let me quickly put out my posters. It is a little windy, so I might put my posts close together. That way that could keep the wind to a minimum to get in at them. So I won't have to do quite as much jogging after them. That might be a good one. Let me see. Oops. Wonder if I put it out more like that, will that make it more stable? Let's see how that works out. Oh. We have Roger's re-signs. There you are, Roger. We bought the rest of me signs. That's the other one for this one. Hang on. Bear with me, I'll move another little bit there. Just bear with me, lads. Here we go. I never found the tunes. Oh, yeah. Let's get ourselves some Jojo Banana tunes. Oh, hang on, where's my sound bar? Oh, yeah, yeah. Here's the sound bar. I need bottles of water. Here we go. Just go to mute myself for 1 second while I blow my nose. This better. It's getting a little bit windy here, which I was expecting that, so I'll just have to I'll have to keep a close eye on me posters that they don't blow away. Am I zoomed in? I was a bit. Hey Jennifer, how are you? Hey Donna. How's Antics been up to there? It's a lovely day here, just a little bit. Oh, Phil and Haggis in, yeah. Haggis loves songs about bushes. Yeah, Haggis, you'll have to go and catch yourself up on Brian's Live. It was a little bit spicy there this morning, alright. So we do have quite a few Indian lads have turned up with the Indian event. They do have some of their with the children there, alright. Which would make sense because it is largely a young Indian population we have here. So they want to have young families, which is absolutely perfect pickings for this fucking evil cult to take advantage of them. Yeah, Antics is very cheeky. Hang on, have I zoomed in again? Now I'm fully zoomed out. There's someone in a fancy suit. Interesting. There's a cult member here for LRHs. They're nicely, pretty fancily dressed there. I wonder where they off to. Or are they heading away? Maybe they're heading away then. Maybe they were here for the Indian event. I don't know. It's hard to know what people would be doing. Oh, I never turned on the tunes. Never turned on the tunes. Turned on the sound bar and I clear forgot about the tunes, lads. Christ almighty. As we say here, I'd forget my own head if it wasn't screwed on. And now these sausage fingers. Where do I find the tunes? Where do I find the tunes? Hang on, artists. Jojo Bananas. Jojo Bananas. Well, let's do a shuffle. So I'm shuffling through the tunes, so that's going to be a right random mix we're going to get. So I'm gonna have to sort out my playlist at some stage. Oh, we got the Mustache Man. I like this one. This is a good whimsical one to start on. So I guess this is for earlier H's birthday. They have I don't know, can you see the... I don't know if that comes in clear enough. Can you guys see that they do have a display of books in there at both either side of the front doors? They do have a large display that looks like the books. So I presume that'd be their Dianetics books they have up. It certainly all looks like the same cover. But like, I thought LRH wrote so many different books. You think they'd have one of each of his books on proud display and not just the Dianetics. That's a bit too free. Let me see. I'm going to try messing with these gimbal options. Is that better? No idea if that's a better option or not. Oh, hang on. I think the problem with this gimbal is me. I think that is maybe a little bit more. This one is a little bit, this setting I think is a little more Irish proof, I think. Exactly, they are very smart kids. They are. They were running some sort of a... What were the events they were doing here today? Yeah, 1 to 6 is when they were doing one to do with... I don't know how you pronounce that. I do have it in my the description of this live. I did copy and paste in the events. But I won't bother trying and pronounce these names because... So you know me, lads, I have a hard enough time pronouncing simple English words as it is. Fuck that, and not to be... Well, it seems to be some inaugural event that you're doing to be celebrating the rich heritage, cultural traditions, and vibrant spirit of Rajashan, bringing together families and friends from across Ireland to experience our culture and strengthen community bonds and hand over loads of dosh. The event will also feature the inauguration of Project Sankirti, SANSKRITI. So that's something to look into to find out what that is about. That to me kind of sounds a bit... Is this one of these money scams going on here? That these guys are part of another scam themselves, and it takes one scam artist to know another one. Do you know what I mean, lads? Because we are surrounded by cults in this day and age. Entry is free, registration recommended. Yeah, registration is mandatory. You have to give them your name, address, contact details. That's for flipping sure. Antics is on dishy scare, I guess. Oh, I'd say not. I'd say not. They're thinking of something even better to come back with, I would dare say. This is another good tune. Antics is saying that shrimp is to be a Xena taste toppery. That's a good idea. That's actually a good idea, Antics. It's a very good idea. Yeah, Joe and Haggis miss out on all the fun in Brian's. Yeah, but you know what we do need? This is something we need to suggest on YouTube. How do you time out a channel creator? That's what I want to know. Yeah, cool. We have Haggis there with us. Haggis does be busy working. Have to earn them dollars some sort of a way. There's some more kids coming here. It's quite there's quite a few turned up for this Indian event, which is a shame to see. They are aggressively targeting the Indian community. because they have another event on here tomorrow. It's a paid event where the tickets are ranging from, I think the cheapest tickets were 15 up to something like 60 quid or something like that. And then the VIP tickets are something like 90 quid. I'm not quite sure what the event is, but it sounds, so they've definitely managed to get themselves well into the indie community here, which is absolutely hate to see. So we'll just have to see what we can do about on-site pointing them in some way. And maybe just me being here at my high vis and my posters are enough for them to maybe just think, lads, maybe we better look into this Church of Scientology and Community Centre a little bit. Maybe there's a reason why that lady is here, giving up her precious free time to try and spread some awarenesses about the evils of this cult. So I think that's probably one of the best things we can do is try and plant those seeds of doubt that people will do a few Googles and look for themselves. Like, I'm not asking anyone to take my word for it. There's plenty of stories from survivors out there. And to me, I've read hundreds of different stories, and I'm in no doubt that they're all telling the truth. There's too many similarities in their stories for them all to have votes against a church that they're making up a pack of lies, which is what their church will tell you they're doing. There's just too many similarities. I don't know about that now, Antics. Hey, Rox, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the Cult of Scientology, and they have LRH's birthday celebrations on here at 5. But before that, they're running a free Indian cultural event, and there is also some sort of a kids event that they're running. That if you guys remember that well dressed, charismatic gentleman from, is it Tennessee, Devontae? He seems to be a one of these children coaches where he gives inspirational talks. So he's doing one of them here today as well, free of charge as well. Now I don't see any evidence of anyone apart from Indian people attending the Indian event. It looks to me like cult members here for LRH's birthday celebrations. I don't see any evidence of our own kids popping in to be coached by Devontae. But I think it's all to give do you know what? I think the reason why they've done this free. Oh, one of my posters have it's a little bit windy here, so I just have to keep a close eye on my posters. Now that's better. Now the good thing is we are distance there from the road, so the likelihood of one of my posters blown up into someone's windscreen is extremely unlikely, which is good. That poster looks a bit. I'm just going to adjust this one. It looks a bit shaky to me. So we do just have to be, when we are out protesting, we just have to be mindful of everyone else. That we're not impeding anyone else's right to use the pavement or the roadway. Hey, Lady Jane, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the Cult of Scientology, and they have LRH's birthday celebrations is from 5. But before that, running from 1 to 6, they do have some sort of an Indian cultural event on. That is obviously free of charge. So they're aggressively targeting the Indian population here, which, how many Indians would we have here? There's probably easily 200,000 Indians living in Ireland. So probably, what would that be? Maybe 1.5% of the population here now is Indian. And we do have large numbers of Indians migrating here every month, both for studying and for work. So it's understandable why the cult are aggressively targeting them. And we have seen evidence that there are some Indians here in Ireland that have become cult members. So who are they going to? Who are they more likely going to listen to? Irish sources tell them that the cult is evil, or a fellow Indian who speaks their own language and tells them, "Oh no, this is a lovely, harmless place. You'll pop in for one of the free events." Do you know what I mean? So hopefully, me being out here in my high vis gear with my posters here, I can help to just offset that message and maybe prompt them. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some independent sources. maybe it's not a good idea to just solely believe one source. Maybe we need to look at more sources than just those that are coming from the cult of Scientology and those that their cozies up to. Catty says, I haven't been able to find Joe's Rumble yet. I get frustrated and afraid to push the wrong button, but I'll try. Yeah, I'm not too keen on all these different social media platforms. I'm even a reluctant YouTube user. I do these lives on YouTube primarily to prove that at all times I'm at this side of the fence, and I haven't, in a fit of madness, managed to pole vault over the fence and do hundreds of thousands of euros worth of damage to the cult. Because you know yourself, lads, these guys will make up lies out of pure nothing. Amy is saying, you're right about there being enough people collaborating crimes out of the cult. It's like the trial where you have enough victims testifying to back up the evidence, you can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Exactly, Amy. And that is where I think it's important to provide a safe place as well for survivors to speak out and tell their stories. Like what you did yourself there on Antics, I think Amy's story is important because it shows the devastation impact this cult has on non cult members and their families. So I do think Amy's is an important story, and it does help to add more. What am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. It does help to give a bigger picture that this cult is not just it's not a harmless, benign cult, and so what people are, if they sign up, then on that's their own hard luck. Well, I don't quite agree to that. I don't think anyone has the right to abuse someone else, whether or not they willingly walk in them doors themselves or they're held at gunpoint. Do you know what I mean? We all know a lot more about coercive control to know it's not as simple as that. You don't need a gun to your head. You can be trapped inside your mind that you feel like you have no choice. Ooh, these fingers of mine. Donna's saying, Kathy, I had this issue last night. Amy pointed out if you go to our live from the day before and you go comment section, so Joe's a link that you click on. I absolutely do. I think Amy's story is very important, Antics. And everybody's story is important because each single story will hit um it'll hit some of the same people, but it'll also hit a different cross section of people as well. Because we all relate to different things, and what impacts one person mightn't impact another, if you know what I mean. Because I know in particular for me, it was hearing parts of Bianca's story that really hit me, that really hit home to me. And probably because Bianca is autistic and I'm autistic. I wasn't diagnosed as autistic until I was 41. So just some of her stories of being a child in the cult and the things she was forced to do, like having to bark orders to people senior to her, as a just a normal person growing up outside of the cult mindset, that is an absolute nightmare for an autistic child to do without the cult fuckery, involved in it. So we all relate to different things and whatnot. So I do think the more stories, the better that we get out there, if you know what I mean, because that helps spread the reach and the awareness, and where people will have that ping moment where they'll realise, holy fuck, this is an evil abusive cult. One of my posters was just falling over there. I'll just pick it back up again. I love getting the beeps on passerby. It is encouraging that I do have the support of the locals here, and I'm not here bothering them. They are appreciated, which is good. It's good to have the local support. Exactly, Antics. And it just shows that the devastating impact this cult has, that is still having a negative impact on Amy's life, even to this day. And the way someone won't seek medical advice because the cult is telling them something else, the cult is selling them snake oil. Oh yeah, do they touch assist, the nerve assist? Oh yeah, if you do this, that, and the other course, if you fix your mind, your body will automatically heal itself. And to be ignoring the advice of the medical profession is just pure nuts in today's day and age. But that is where we are. When you believe someone lock, stock, and barrel, and you don't see any reason why your family and friends in the cult wouldn't have your best interests at heart, if you know what I mean. So I do feel for people who are trapped inside this cult, but at the same time, I do know There is nothing. There's no one thing I could say. Like I could run in there now into them front doors. Well, they'd have the guards card, but there's nothing that I could run in there and say to the cult members that they'd wake up and say, "Oh fuck, you know you're right. I am being used and abused in here. I'm leaving this cult right now today." All we can do is try and plant some seeds of doubt, and that when they're ready, they'll start to realise that this cult is not all it's cracked up to be, and that they're doing themselves more harm the longer they stay in this cult. And it's not just financial harm, it's harm to their mind. Because I firmly do believe everything I've read and seen about this cult, I firmly believe that the teachings of Scientology will either bend or break your mind. Neither of them are a good thing. Oh yes, Lady Jane, there are all my signs. I'm going to have a rethink and see, is there any more signs? I'm going to make some more signs and probably rotate them. Like, you just never know what particular message might resonate for someone walking by, because I do see people walking by having a read of my signs, and I do see the cars slowing down to have a read of them as well. And then I have the more common Scientology front groups here as well, because that is something for us all just to be vigilant and aware about, particularly if you see anyone with a drug-free world, way to happiness, or their Dianetics leaflets. If you do see them out and about anywhere, be very vocal and loud to tell everyone know that them lads that is Scientology and they're an evil, abusive cult. Make it very hard for Scientology to try and flog the wares in public. Because that is one thing that they do here is they have taken advantage of the immigrant population here who are seeking asylum. That they are getting them to with no what am I trying to say? They're taking advantage of the immigrants here to go out in town trying to offload their leaflets to a drug-free world, the way to happiness, their free Dianetic seminars and whatnot, and giving them the illusion that the cult will help them to get immigration status here, which obviously they can't do. The only place they can do that is the Department of Immigration. And for that, that's a long and complicated process. So they're taking advantage of people left, right, and centre here. And when English isn't your native language, it's absolutely disgusting what they do. And there I have the bike model there printed out with some examples of what the bike model is about. How's it going?
Right. What's happening?
I just come out here to protest against Scientology and to just spread awarenesses that they are an abusive cult.
Yeah.
And there's not many people know it's a cult,
Yeah.
but they don't know why.
Yeah.
And there is, and I'm just here trying and prompt people to think, oh geez, I wonder why that lady is out spending her valuable free time out protest against Scientology. Maybe I'll do some Googles, find out for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that maybe someone who is thinking of popping in to do a free course personality test, maybe will think again and do some independent research.
Yeah. I went in there, I live there.
Yeah.
I went in there just after Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I had a look at some of the videos available on
Yeah.
Hubbard, and then they invited me to the New Year's party. And I went to the New Year's party, and then I started cleaning up with the waiters and all that, like
Yeah.
helping out. And they didn't like that, so I left. And I told them I'd
Yeah.
never go back once they would leave.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful, it's like in there. Have you been in there? Like they have a huge auditorium.
No, I haven't.
It's like
Yeah.
something out of UCD.
Yeah.
And they do let it be used for like
Yeah.
for Irish dancing.
Yeah. Oh, they do. They give to the Irish
And like
dance and they give it to the
And they got
gymnastics.
GA and soccer over
And
there.
they do, yeah.
that's great.
They've all sorts of to try, and that is where I try to come out when the Irish dancing is on as well. I try to come out as often as I can. Now I work full time, so
Yeah.
I don't have much.
What
And
are
then
they doing like?
fundamentally, it's a money scam.
Yeah.
That they get you on. You'll start in. You'll do a free course.
Yeah.
The next course might be 50 quid. The next course might be 150.
Yeah.
Before you know, it's $2,000. But they'll always say, you do these courses, you'll have full control over mind matter. Your earning potential will go through the roof. You'll be earning 100 times more what you do now. Your earning potential, you'll have full control over your body, because everything that's physically wrong with you is because your mind is sick. You cure the mind, You no longer, if you have diabetes, your diabetes will be gone.
Right.
If you have cancer, your cancer will magically be cured. All
Right.
this kind of nonsense. But once you start to believe in it, they're able to very quickly sell you and move on up. And then they have this thing that we are eternal beings. We're just stuck in these meat bodies.
Right.
That we used to exist outside of these bodies. We're spiritual beings that we
Right.
live forever. So we've all lived these billions of lifetimes before, and it's only in this lifetime you've been so lucky to stumble across Scientology, which is the only source of the truth.
Wow.
And once you start believing in that, and then they're also able to use the past lifetimes to say, "Oh, do you know why you got visually assaulted on Grafton Street the other night?
Yeah.
It's because in a previous life you must have done something even worse to someone else, so you
Right.
deserved it." And you know what you can do with these bunch of courses here and all the thing you can do? You'll never become a victim again.
Right.
So they have all these clever
Guilt
tactics.
trips.
Yeah, and it's all about victim blaming. So when they have you on the
Yeah.
hook, then they're able to flog even, as crazy as it sounds, even to flog even more hardcore courses
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. Of course.
And then because you're discouraged from, if you have doubts, you can't speak out.
Yeah.
If you have doubts and you mention it to someone else, someone tells you have doubts, they'll report you, they'll write a KR up on you, and you'll get into all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Where you might end up having to fucking clean toilets for the next month with a little toothbrush.
Yeah.
All sorts of crazy stuff. And they do that because they're so,
Yeah.
they've just bought into it and they start
Manipulating.
believing it. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, it's sort of akin to if you're in an abusive relationship, you don't realise at the time that you're being
Yeah. I
controlled.
see. Yeah.
So there are
So
a
they
lot,
take control of the person.
exactly, there's a lot of pearls there, and you don't even realise
Yeah.
that these aren't your own independent thoughts you're having.
Yeah.
They're the thoughts of the group mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. They indoctrinate you.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do feel for them.
Yeah.
So that is where I'm just trying to help to spread awareness. Anyone that is thinking of going in there, if they see me out here then,
Yeah.
oh geez, I wonder why she's out here protesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's any financial gain in it for, maybe I better do a little bit of Google and
Yeah.
find out for
Exactly.
myself.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best we can do.
Awful stories in America about it, isn't there?
They're all over the world, anywhere Scientology's
Yeah.
been, even here. But because these guys are good at fair gaming and quashing anyone that speaks out,
Right.
that they're, because if you do speak out, they'll plant all sorts of lies about you. That it's because you're disgruntled. Oh yeah, they caught you. They might say, oh, they caught you having an affair or they caught you stealing,
Yeah.
and that's why they threw you out of the church.
Yeah.
So they'll discourage you that way, and then they'll even do things like they'll go through your rubbish. They'll try and find something
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
stitch you up for a crime.
Yeah. To protect the church.
Yeah, so that way then people then you're already trying to heal from the mind fuckery of this place.
Yeah.
And then with them harassing you down after, so most people will just say, oh fuck it, I'll just quietly live my life.
And do you know how
And
many
then even
members they
and
have?
then even people who do bring them to court, very often it'll be out of court settlements
Right.
because of the fair gaming that
So
they'll
it's
just
essentially
say,
harassment and
oh fuck, serious, big style.
intimidation.
Absolutely big style, yeah.
Yeah. And do you know how many members they have here? Like in Ireland?
They had less than 100.
Wow.
But that was in 2016. So that was
That was
before
when
this place
yeah,
opened.
okay.
So I'm not sure now because I have seen evidence of
About 1,000 that's
that. I'd say maybe it's a couple of hundred.
Yeah, is that all?
I wouldn't think there's many more than that.
Do you think
But they are.
do you think
But
they rent that out to like Iceland stuff just to break money? Just to break even?
I think not even to break even. I think they
To
rent
run at a
out
loss.
a loss
Yeah.
because once you get in there, they have all the widescreen TVs.
Yeah,
That's
I was in
pumping
there.
out Scientology TV.
Yeah, I
They
was
have
in
all
there,
the
yeah.
pamphlets and all the booklets.
Yeah.
So you might think, oh, that's nice. That's just that friendly place I
Yeah.
was there. That I went to do a bit of dancing or a bit of a music event.
Yeah.
So that all plants a fault.
Oh, yeah,
So that's why you think,
yeah.
oh, there's no harm. I'll come and do a free personality test.
Yeah,
So they kind of get you in that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're sort of in a way they're playing the long game.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure what way because they're not they don't have tax-free status here. So there are some sort of a thing that they have done.
They don't attach to what?
They're not tax-free here.
Tax free? No, of course not.
And you can rest assured there's no way these guys are paying Irish taxes. Now there are ways around it, I
Wages
think,
will be paying taxes.
because they're
The wages will be paying taxes.
as if they're paying them wages, but if you're a volunteer.
They're not. No, I went in with the receptionist and stuff. She was working there. Like.
She is working there, but she's working there as a volunteer.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, would you?
And then they'll do this thing of, oh yeah, but we're giving all these free courses, all these courses. Yeah, you did this bloody blah course. Oh yeah, we sold that to members of the plugger for 50 grand. You're getting it for free.
Yeah,
So there's all
yeah.
they have everything, every possible angle you could think of.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have it.
smart. Yeah,
They have it covered.
yeah,
Oh, it's deviously smart because they're taking advantage of people, and that
yeah,
is
yeah,
okay. People are walking in their own free will. There's no gun being held to the head, but
yeah,
it
yeah.
still doesn't make it right to use and abuse someone.
That's
That is
right. Yeah,
wrong. Do
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Nicely hidden out here as well in House, aren't they?
Do you know why they opened up here?
No.
Because there was a evangelist church opened here before.
Okay.
They went bust.
Yeah,
And because this land was already zoned for religious use, even though we don't recognise them as a religion,
yeah,
that's how they're able to open this place here.
yeah. Because it's
And
a
then
corporation essentially.
they sort of did some sort of deal with the government to say, oh, we'll call it community centre. We'll allow the local area. We'll open up the
Oh,
local area to
yeah,
hold the
but
children's events, and you're
yeah,
there.
yeah.
You
So
know
that's
what's
why
it
they don't
called?
pay tax.
How the fuck is it safe for our kids to be going in doing the Irish dancing in a place that we know is a cult?
Yeah,
And that serves no purpose.
exactly right.
Like the way I look at it is, would you send your kids to an own drug den on a Sunday
Yeah,
if the guy said, "Oh, it's okay, we promise we won't sell any of your
yeah,
drugs today"?
yeah.
You would, you fucking
Drug
wouldn't.
dealer and community centre.
Exactly, yeah. So like, how is this any different? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
you're
just
very right. Yeah, you're very.
so.
What's your name?
Mark,
Mart.
yeah,
Oh, she.
I'm on YouTube. You can find
I
me
don't even have a
under.
phone. Like,
Oh yeah,
don't
yeah.
even
I
know.
go primarily on YouTube. It's another way of spreading awareness, but it's also to prove at all times I've been at this side.
Yeah,
And I know days that I get a fit of madness, pull ones over and do damage. Because they'll tell lies.
yeah,
Like one of the first times I came out, they called the guards and they said I was harassing the staff members going in and out. Me standing here. The entrance is way down at the end.
there.
How the fuck am I harassing anyone?
Yeah,
And it's not like someone walked by and I said, fucking Egypt or something. You know, if I said something like that, you could say, yeah, fair enough. I can see
yeah.
where, do
Well, that just
you know what I
shows the
mean?
type of attitude they have.
But because they do fear people like me out here because we're speaking the truth, it's very easy to verify that what I'm saying is the truth when you do a few
Yeah,
Googles
yeah.
out there on YouTube.
God, I was in there. They didn't do any harm to me, but like, I told them I'd never go back. But
Yeah.
I've seen some documentaries on America and stuff, and all I do say like aligned to them.
But it is sad to see that some people, within a couple of weeks of going in,
Yeah.
that they can be the hook, line, and sinker that they fully believe in the
So
teachings
what
of
you do when you
Scientology.
meet someone, when you're trying to manipulate someone's mind or reprogram them, what you do is you deconstruct them. You deconstruct them straight away from the mentality that everything that happened to them is by chance or by proxy or
Yeah.
by sociologically created, and you instill inside them the idea that everything happens because of what you do and what you think and what you
Yeah.
know. And then if you can't explain that, you can put it in another world.
Yeah.
It's genius, like.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it surely is, yeah.
It's
And I
genius.
do think what worries me is that anyone out there that has a twisted, fucked up mind could study how does Scientology do it.
How do you think they?
We know how to open
But
our
how do you
own
think they
cult.
worked it out?
Well, it was true. LRH he stole a lot of stuff from other textbooks, and he set up at just the right time when people were into all these new religions
Yeah.
and philosophy and
Yeah.
spiritual awakenings and things like that. So he started up at the right time. But he plagiarized a lot of stuff that he read from manuals. Like even the practice of Dianetics, which is their form of counselling, is loosely based on techniques that Freud himself came up with. And then he realised, oh no, these techniques are no good because it creates a dependency of the
Yeah.
patient on
Exactly.
and he decided, no, this is harmful, we can't do this, we have to find another way. So LRH stumbled across and he said, oh, I know how to manipulate this for my own purpose. And then it was through trial and error. He managed to attract wealthy people in America at the time. They paid for it. He used to call it research. So he had a group of people he could try out these practices on and say, okay, that didn't work. Okay, I need to adjust it.
Just mind
This
watching.
exactly. And this particular angle, if I present it this way, it's more believable to people.
Yeah.
So he sort of worked it out that way.
Yeah. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go and get some skins.
Oh yeah. Thanks for talking to us. Yeah, March.
We'll see you now.
Oh, hey, Oisin. Yeah. Just going to pick up my signs there, lads. They've been just thrown down there. So I do like to spend the time to talk to people who are interested, because when you spend the time to talk to people and explain to them what I'm doing out here, like he's going to go home, he'll talk to his family and friends about this lady he met today, and that in itself is another way of helping to spread awareness. And that is what we want. We want to try and encourage people to talk about Scientology and why this cult is evil. So there we can see. Looks like what time are we at? 4:20. So it looks like the Indian event might be coming to a close there. There seems to be quite a lot of people leaving there at the moment. What's more going in? Could they be? I'm trying to gauge if them lads going in there now. Would they Scientologists turning up for LRH's birthday celebration starting at 5? Could well be. I'm going to zoom out. To be honest, I'm not even sure if there's any point in me zooming in, because what we can see, we can't really see that much anyway through the camera lens. Let me just pick up the rest of my posters. There we go. Might take a little gulp of water. Hang on, let me just mute myself before I take a gulp of water there. Now, just pick up this poster again. Wind is a bit gusty here, lads. Well, it's not too bad though. It's only knocking down me posters, which is good. So far, I haven't had to do any jogging after me posters. Hey, nice to see. Oh no, Oh, hang on, let's put the music back on. Let's put the music back on there. Thanks very much, Lady J, and I do think so. Yeah, I think the signs are worthwhile, as it's handy for the people walking by and for the cars, because I do see them. Some of them having a bit of a read on my signs, and hopefully it does encourage them to have a look when they get home, to do a few Googles to try and find out more for themselves. Because I do think, even though a lot of people know, the vast majority of people know that Scientology is a cult, they're blissfully unaware of why Scientology is dangerous. Amy is saying they're having a demographic crisis. They can't replace their members who is either dying or leaving the cult. Exactly, Amy. So they're targeting minority populations. They're aggressively based on the Indian cultural events that are happening here in the Dublin org. They're aggressively targeting or increasing Indian population here, because we do have, I think it's about 1.5% of the population here now is Indian. What the fuck, antics? One exec was forced to lick a bathroom for a clean. As shocking as that sounds, I do actually believe it. I wouldn't, if you had said that to me 3 years ago, I would have said bullshit. There's no way that's true. But based on everything I've seen since, I absolutely do believe it. Joe is saying her Rumble account is Jojo underscore their enforcer. So if you guys are on Rumble, and if you're not, you maybe have a look at Rumble and give Jojo a subscribe. Yeah, isn't it, Haggis? It's really sad the Irish isn't good at talking. But I'm not a natural talker. I'd be more than happy to spend my entire day in silence without having to speak to a single soul. But because what am I trying to say? Because this means something to me. I have heard the stories of all the survivors, and it has impacted me that much. I can't bear the thought of anyone going through a fraction of what those guys have gone through. And that has inspired me to come out here, and it has helped me find my voice. And it's out of necessity that I am able to talk to people, because it's something that I am passionate about and I care about. And it's something I do feel there very much is a need for this, lads. And I would encourage anyone everywhere around the world, if they can at all, even if it's just once a year, maybe try and pop out to their org and do a spot of protesting. And even if you don't feel like doing protesting, maybe just talk to people to your family, your friends, maybe in your workplace, maybe when you're out shopping, buying for groceries. See if there's a way you can work Scientology into the conversation and just to elaborate on some of the abuses. Do you know what I mean? There's many ways of spreading awareness, and just to try and prompt people to think, to kind of think about, to educate themselves and become more cult aware. Because Scientology is not the only cult. We're surrounded by thousands of cults all around the world, but I think Scientology is probably is one of the most abusive in existence today. Possibly even the most abusive that has ever been in existence. And like we all have a different protesting styles. And it's not for me to say that one way is right and another is wrong. How's it going? Hi. Yeah. I highly recommend if you want a book to read, look for Jamie Mustard, Child X. So that's the name of the book there. Yeah. He's he's someone who grew up in Scientology as a child, and he goes into great detail about the abuses he suffered. His story isn't unique. There's been children all over the world now, as Aldous has spoke out about their experience growing up in Scientology, and their stories of abuses are very similar and the same. So they are very much a dangerous, abusive cult. Yeah. So I highly recommend that you have a look. And talk to your, and then when you do, talk to your family and friends. Let people know. Because one of the things that these guys do is they run a lot of Indian cultural events to try and entice people in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why I come out here protesting in my free time, just to try and spread awareness and to try and encourage people. Don't take my word for it. Go and do a Google look for yourself and talk to your family and friends and let them know, because they're good at exploiting innocence. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, just had a wee chat with an Indian gentleman, which is fantastic. That was an Indian gentleman with his child in the car who I noticed looked at my posters. He's taking a picture of Jamie Mustard's book, so he's going to get himself a copy of it. And hopefully now, I just say to him, talk to your family and friends, spread awareness among them, because these guys, this cult is proactively targeting Indians with the Indian cultural events. So that's a great way of helping to spread awareness. Yeah. So do you know what? Just having that one single interaction, that in itself has made it well worth my while being out here today. So just that one interaction, I'd say this has been a success and a win for us. And a win for us good guys today, lads. Hey, Paralyze, how are you? What time we're here? We're nearly half four here. The LRH birthday celebration is due to kick off at 5. And it's absolutely fantastic to see they don't have that many people at this event. I would say at this stage, people would have, the Scientologists will be nicely in there. Like the front car park there isn't exactly full. There's still a few spaces in there. And let me just zoom out again. They have no cars parked up there along the side. No cars parked up along the side when they have when the Irish dancing contests are in there. And then even around the back, there's plenty of spaces there around the back because they'd normally be parked up in that grass and everything there. Let me zoom out again. I don't know if there's any benefit to me zooming in. Am I zoomed all? I'm zoomed all the way back out again. So I think there's not much. That's pretty much the same as what was here last year. And that could be a combination of Scientologists from Ireland, from Northern Ireland, and from Scotland over at this event. So it is good to see there isn't really that many Scientologists here. But like the way I look at it is that one new person joining Scientology, that's one person too many. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, exactly, Rox. Yelling and throwing things is no way helping people. Exactly. And it's not for me to say that that's not a way of spreading awareness if you're making content, pushing it out to thousands or millions of people ever. I'm not going to say there's a right or wrong way. I will say there's many different ways. We all have voice. There are some ways that are clearly not, how shall I say, it's clearly not a way that I'd be advising anyone to copy. It's for everyone to find their own way and to see what they think works based on their location. Like where I'm here, you can see the entrance to the org is way down at the very end there. And then you have a big long windy path in. And where these guys are, they're in a residential area. So it's highly unlikely there's going to be Scientologists walking by me. And also, there's not much I could say in the space of a couple of seconds that would help to open their eyes to this cult. So really, I'm out here is for people to see my signs and to wonder, to think to themselves, why would that nice lady be out there using her free time to be spreading awareness about the abuse of Scientology? Maybe I'll have a bit of a Google and have a look in it for myself. And maybe, just maybe, there is some very real harm in going in, doing a free personality test, doing a free course. Maybe these guys are not as benevolent as they seem. Maybe they actually do some real harm, and there is very real danger of even being in the premises. I know what you mean, Antics, because I try to remember to go on TikTok to try and share and promote the anti-Scientology videos there. But flipping heck, lads, it's finding the time. And even my YouTube watch list grows by the day. I just do not have enough time to watch everything I want to and to try and support everybody. It's where sometimes you just have to try and find the right balance. Joe was saying, love me some WW. What WWB? Wonder Woman, I wonder. Must be Wonder Woman on Joe. I did like, what was her name? Diane, no, it wasn't Diane Carter. Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman in the TV series. She was my hero. I thought she was absolutely fucking fantastic. Probably because, well, she comes across as a nice lady, Linda herself as an actress or and as a person. But also because at the time all you had was boy superheroes. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know why it was so heavily towards the blokes. Because there's enough of us ladies who are interested in the comic books. And even at that, you don't even need to be interested in the comic books to appreciate the stories behind the superhero genre. I just followed everyone on Rumble that has followed her. Cool. Yeah, I did sign up for a Rumble account, but not sure I'm going to be using it. What was the other thing I signed up for? And then I thought, nah, not for me. What's the other platform out there? Fuck, I can't remember now. There's just too many of these social media platforms. I should always confirm, yeah, the WW's Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. She was the absolute best. Oh, I used to dream of having her lasso of truth, just to make me brothers tell the truth. They were fucking devils for telling us younger kids porcupines. And my older brother in particular, oh man, he could cheat at a Monopoly. He always wanted to be a banker. And you'd always look up and you see, how the fuck has he suddenly acquired all these thousands of fucking dollars worth of Monopoly money? Do you know what I mean? So I always wished I had the lassie or two to try and get my brother to tell the truth. Did he actually win that money fair and square? Or was he helping himself when we weren't looking? Plus, he always tried to tell us that, oh yeah, this new rule that he invented himself. Oh yeah, this is in the American version of Monopoly. It's not in the Irish version, so it was just as valid. He was always making things up. And then once we got old enough to be reading the rules ourselves, that excuse never washed anymore. Kathy is saying that I'm just not getting anything technically challenged, so I'm happy to just go on with it. Yeah, exactly, Kathy. These people who know me will tell you I'm not a fan of the mobile device or its apps. I absolutely hate them with a passion. Because, like the two, when you're trying to do something, it doesn't recognize your finger swiping. And then when you're not trying to finger swipe, it's doing all sorts of bizarre things on you. Plus, I can't even hold this mobile phone without it snapping fucking screenshots on me. And I'm just holding the thing. I didn't tell it to do anything. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I need to watch a young person and see how they use their mobile phones for some tips. Because it's beyond me the dark arts of these things. Don't like Twitch. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on Twitch. Or is that the one I'm thinking of that I looked at once and I said, nah, that's not for me? There's just so many of these social media platforms. Tanner saying her sister always won Monopoly. She taught me the secret was to use own all the railroads. Oh yes, the railroads. That was a good one to own. All right, and the hotels was another good one. Thanks very much, Antics. If you'd all be so good as to like and subscribe, and tell all your friends about this strange and wonderful creature you have stumbled upon on the YouTubes. Cathy is saying, Dan, I didn't even know I had a YouTube channel until Joel told me. Yeah, snap, Cathy. I didn't even know I had a YouTube channel until I was trying to work out last year how do I go live on YouTube. And to my surprise, I already had the YouTube channel. And I was there, oh, okay. What do I need to do then? And then I discovered, I need 50 subs to be able to go live. But if you go live, if you use StreamYard, you don't need 50. And that is what I did do for my first live, which was at this event last year, was when I did my first ever live. I went live on StreamYard because that enabled me to go live with less than 50. And then from that, then I just slowly built up my subscriber base because I'm not good at, not good, that's an understatement. I'm absolutely shit about promoting myself, lads. That's just it's pretty much an Irish thing. We're not so good at selling ourselves. We're very good at just quietly going about and doing our business, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, we do believe in we do believe in standing up against abuses. That is a no-no. I don't care what the circumstances are. Abuse is always wrong, and we'll always stand up for those that doesn't have a voice, or what for whatever reason can't use the voice. Cathy is saying she has 6 devices. That's fucking impressive. I don't know how Cathy does it, because sometimes when there's a few people are live at the same time, I try to watch on my laptop and on my tablet, and I get confused. I get confused trying to follow both conversations, lads. So I don't know how Cathy does it with 6 devices. I really don't. So yeah, it just looks like it. We haven't seen anybody. We've seen a few crew cars come and go, but by and large, everybody is already in there then for the Scientology event. I wonder did they tell the Scientologists to come in early to help them with the in the cultural event that they're running today. They probably did, you know that. But are they really fooling their members? Look, there's someone inside with a big camera taking pictures. What's he taking pictures of? Oh, that's probably for the probably taking some pictures for the social media. Ah, that looks like two staff members in there he took a picture of. I will tell you this: anytime I watch the cult members and just see what they're doing, I can never quite work out what exactly they're doing. I guess it's all part of this busy work to do. Because like they don't look like. What I will say is they don't look like normal company workers, and they don't look like normal church affiliated officials or helpers. You know what I mean? They just look different. I don't know what better way to describe that. I just weird. Cat is catastic. She absolutely is. And this is one thing I have learned about Cathy these past few years. Cathy is extremely wise, lads. And I think that is largely down to the grey hair she has, because I do believe the more grey and white hairs you have, that is a sign of great wisdom. And I'm sticking by that. I'll swear to that on a stack of Bibles I have to. The grey and white hairs are a sign of great wisdom. So to all you slightly older ladies out there, don't be wasting your money dyeing your hair. Wear your grey and white hair with pride. Jojo saying, oh, it's her fault. What did Jojo do? Oh, the typos, is it? Oh, for unleashing an animal in Cathy with her 6 devices. Isn't that a lovely sky though? Jennifer says that she's a fucking genius. Exactly, I would say so, Cathy. Or Jennifer rather. I would say so. And this is where you should never you should never write off a slightly older woman. We're full of knowledge and useful wisdom to all you youngers out there. We're not quite old and senile just yet. There's a few more good years in us. It's absolutely a lovely day. Now the oh we are 20 to 5, which explains why it's starting to get a little bit chilly, which is good. Because I did anticipate it will start to get cold out here. I do have on my merino wool base layer on me underneath me me top and bottom. And I have my merino wool long socks on as well for the extra warm, so I am nice and warm. And thankfully, like look at that, the sky is so clear. Look at that for a lovely clear sky. It's not going to rain on me tonight, lads, and that is good. A little bit on the cool side, but I'm well dressed for it, so I'm not going to freeze to death. And anyway, I don't mind a little chill in the air. That's a good excuse then to be needing a warming gram or two of whiskey. He's late, is he? He's rushing in there. He is dressed in the Indian gear, but I wonder 20 to 5. Why is he in such a hurry? Maybe he's an Indian Scientologist, I wonder. I've seen a couple. A lady there with the 2 small kids walking in. Not quite sure what nationality she is. Maybe Eastern European. There's still a few turning up for the event. But it's not exactly chock-a block though, lads. I'd rate it as being that car park isn't quite full yet. And they do have quite a bit of room there out the back as well. And there is no cars parked along the side. So that's a good sign that the cult isn't doing so well at this neck of the woods. Because at this event, this will be where every single Scientologist in Southern Ireland, Northern Ireland, and then across the water in Scotland would be proactively encouraged to pop over for this event. So based on the carriage, that looks like pretty much the same as last year, which is good to see. So I would say that would show there's most definitely an act growing here, which would also explain why they are getting more aggressive with their free children's events and with the Indian cultural events. So definitely there is a need for me to pop myself out here with my signs as often as I can and to talk to anyone passing by who does want to find out more and find out why I'd be spending my valuable free time out here to spread awarenesses about the many abuses of Scientology. So I will say, lads, we're not losing the battle. I would say we're winning the war against Scientology. These guys have a limited lifespan. I wonder is I don't know what the they have two mountain stacks there of books. I would assume it's Dianetics they have because it's certainly all the same. They all look the same, but it's too far away for me to tell. I don't think we can see it through. Oops. Yes, no. It's even less clearer looking through the camera lens. So I would assume that's probably Dianetics that book they have up there. Or maybe even, would it be a book on LRH himself? Maybe. And the cult version of the life and times of LRH, what did they call him? The greatest humanitarian that ever walked this earth. Oh, the new kids book. Oh, I'll have to have a look for it online and see what their front looks like and see. This is what frustrates me, lads. I can see a lot more with my eyes than what I can see through the camera lens, even when I do zoom in. Now, I guess they probably have some sort of an anti-glare or something on the windows there to make it harder for someone to record what's inside there. Yeah, I guess the saying it's likely is the new kids' books. That's not rain I'm feeling, is it? I felt a wee drop of rain there. Maybe it was an overheard bird relieving themselves on me. The air is feeling a little bit. There's a little bit of moisture in the air, all right. But the sky is clear at that side. It's a little bit grey at that side, but I think we should be good. And anyway, I don't mind a little bit of rain. What time are we at? We're at 4:45. So it'll be 5 o'clock. The event is going to open. Oh look, they fixed the sign, lads. Do you remember when I was here there a few weeks ago? They were missing some letters. There's two of the letters have fallen down, and it looks like they put them back up again. They glued them back on for today. Because I think it was the O and the D that had fallen down the last day. So that's good anyway. Good on them for doing their maintenance. That would be so cool though if we could pump these if we could replace the David Miscavige speech inside there with Jojo Banana tunes. Wouldn't that be fucking lovely, lads? No idea how you go about doing that. And it would be a criminal, it would be an offence to do, all right. But geez, something like that, I'd be prepared to do jail time for, because I just think that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you could cover up David Miscavige's speech with some JoJo tunes. Amy is saying, I met a woman working at a store yesterday, and somebody brought up Scientology, and she said she took a few courses because they roped her in, but she quit and it was BS. And that's absolutely fantastic, Amy, that she's seen through it before she was fully ensnared on the hook. Danner is saying probably because Osa is watching And I remember Jeff PTS for life when he was at the Vancouver org and mentioned how filthy their awnings was. A few weeks later, her packing was cleaned. That is true. That is true, Donna. Because that is something I did notice when I was out here a few weeks ago. That two of the lectures was down. So yeah, they wouldn't like that though. That the random strangers on the internet scene, isn't it, Jennifer? It's good that she realised they're just doing a few courses in. I would love to know the this is it. I'd love more people to speak out about their experience in Scientology, no matter how brief. I would be interested to know how many people do realise just after viewing a few courses, something isn't right here, lads. I'm going to do a little bit of independent research. I would imagine it's possibly a small few. That's a car, a GMC car. Is that a security car? I think GMC is a security firm here. I'll have to do a Google on that later. Would they have hired security at this event? Let me just zoom back out there. Is he parking up? He does look like he's parking up there. Let me see, is he in a security uniform? Just keeping an eye on the private security car. I'm interested to see, is it just the one person or do they have two? Or maybe they're just attending this event themselves as Scientologists. Or am I wrong? Maybe GMC isn't a security firm. I think it is. I definitely recognise that logo. I'll have to Google it later. But it's a man and a woman anyway in their normal clothes.
House address Chenautic Community Center per house.
That is here, but you do know this place is a cult.
Is this?
This is a cult.
Because I know this address. Address is Chenautic Community Center.
Yeah, it's here.
Yes.
But this place is a dangerous cult. It's an abusive cult.
Sorry?
It's a cult.
Cold?
Cult, yeah.
I don't understand.
I wouldn't recommend that you go in there. It's a cult. Look up, do Google on cult. CULT.
Because I have an invitation, but I don't understand what is this. First time.
Yeah, it's a money scam fundamentally is what they do.
Sorry?
Money scam.
Money scam?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, understand.
Yeah.
Because it's just birthday, food, anything for, I don't know, but it's scam sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why they run free events to trick people in.
Okay, food, come,
Yeah.
invitation.
And then yeah, so it's all messing with the mind to try and
I'm coming, but it's broken.
yeah. So hopefully now I don't know that guy didn't have very good English. And I'm just hoping I managed to get through to him that this place is a cult. I said to him, he didn't understand the word cult, so I told him money scam. And that's why they run these free events, it's for the money and for the mind fuckery. So we'll see. Because I couldn't lie to him, like he did ask me, he showed me on his phone, he had the address of this place. So I wasn't going to lie to him and say, oh no, it's the other side of Dublin, mate, you're in the wrong area, do you know what I mean? And he has seen my signs passing by as well, so look, they really are targeting the immigrants here that don't have good English. It really is a shame to see. Because one thing that these guys, they're devious fuckers. One thing that they are doing is they do their free courses on a Tuesday night, But they're also starting to do free courses on a Wednesday night where they're targeting the native Russian speakers and the native Romanian speakers who's going in there all right. Okay. Eastern European, but I don't know what I'm gonna have to have a think about this. What messaging can I have with me to make it clearer to these guys with fuck all English that this place is maybe not somewhere they want to be wandering into. Maybe even by just me being here, maybe he will go and do a bit of independent research himself. I seriously hope so. And I hope he's not already a Scientologist. It certainly sounded like he was starting up here because it is a free event. Okay. Hate to see him going in there. Not sure what more I could have done in this instant, lads. But it's something I do need to have a think about. People who don't have very good English, how can I get the message through to them more simply? I'll have to think about that now. Because I don't want to see anyone innocently wander into this cult and to become a cult member. Even though Scientology does have a limited lifespan, in the meantime, people are being harmed and abused by this cult. So there is it definitely is something to be concerned about to see that someone is potentially becoming a new Scientology member. Do you know what I mean? I would say so, Cathy. I would say also are definitely at this stage they are aware of me and my channel. Most definitely because I've been over in Copenhagen now. How many times? 3 times, 4 times, 3 times. I can't count. I've been over to Copenhagen protesting with Miriam 3 times, and we know Miriam is high up on OSA's radar over there. So most definitely that would have had me on the radar. And then because I have been coming out here consistently, so they most definitely are keeping an eye on me. That's for sure. Anyone that turns up regularly outside the roads protesting and spreading awareness about their abuses is going to be high up on US's radar. And I knew that when I first started coming out here, that there is no way of doing it where you wouldn't pop across the radar, if you know what I mean. But that's part and parcel of it. You just have your eyes open and you're fully aware of that you could potentially become a victim of their fair gaming. And yeah, so be it. What we are doing here, lads, is too important, I think, for any of us to be intimidated and to back down. Amy saying, I brought it up while you're talking about politics. The price of gas, and that's how I was able to tell her about the Trump government is infiltrated. Absolutely fantastic, Amy. Yeah, and that is a fantastic way that we can help to spread awarenesses about the evils of Scientology is through everyday conversation and try and slip it in some sort of way. Because I know what I did do there last year when I was in the office and work, we were bitching about the work environment and whatnot. And I was saying, lads, yeah, it's getting very close to it where I'm very close to telling me boss to stuff the job up his ass and I'd be more than happy to live on rice and beans for the next 5 years. And the guys turned around and they said, oh, is that a reference to, what's that thing? Celebrity, oh, I'm a celebrity, get me out here. And I said, oh no, it's a reference to Scientology. When you do anything to get yourself into when you do anything to piss off the cult or Scientology and your bosses inside the cult, they'll put you on lower conditions and you'll be punished by them giving you on nothing but rice and beans to eat. So that was a handy segue then into telling them about I managed to slip in Tom Cruise the way he has a lot of Scientology staff members working for him. And where them guys, if they're lucky, they get paid $47 a week. And that is only if they're lucky. So there are ways of slipping it in through everyday conversation. And that is one of the things I think that we all can do is just try and get people talking more about Scientology and even cults in general. And I do wish that schools would do cult awareness and universities for that matter, because we badly need more cult awareness in this day and age. Because fuck it, lads, I don't know that I'm more cult aware now, but we seem to be surrounded by cults are fucking everywhere. They really are. And there's more popping up in Ireland as we speak. There are Muslim cults are popping up. There are Hindu cults popping up, and there's I think they're pretending to be part of the evangelist religion. Cults are popping up near me as well. Now I don't know much about them religions to be able to definitively say no, that's not an authentic church or religion. That is a cult. But it's where you get very strong culty vibes off of a place, if you know what I mean. Like where there's money involved. To practice religion, it shouldn't cost you anything, lads. That's plain and simple. Donner saying I was just waiting for the day for the what's the group called? Something of Islam to wake up and find out what you really think. Oh yeah, exactly, Donna. That's a good point. Yeah, the Nation of Islam. And I think wasn't Muhammad Ali a member of the Nation of Islam? And I don't think like he wasn't aware of that was a cult. I know he was proud to be a black Muslim. Donner say maybe when I was on Facebook I can see anything to do with Pam Bondi. I go to the comment section and type and look at the ties to Scientology exactly. She very much is in Scientology's pocket, Pam Bondi. That is for sure, lads. Absolutely. How's it going? You're looking for.
Can I take photo?
Oh, you can. If you're looking for a book to read, I highly recommend Child X by Jamie Mustard.
Because
Oh yeah, no, work away. Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched a documentary about
Yeah,
one
yeah.
woman, the control
Yeah.
her child from Germany.
Oh yeah, because
yeah.
it messes with your
they
mind
mess with the mind.
that you
They
believe.
make them feel that they are doing something good.
Oh, they think
They
they're
think that they are.
they think that they're the most ethical beings on the planet and that they're saving
Yeah,
all of
but they are
mankind.
not. Yeah.
They're
Because
they're
one of
being
my
they're
friend,
being brainwashed, and
yeah,
it's all about money, that you donate money to them.
yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
because one of my friend, her sister, she's involved with them
Yeah.
since more than 30 years. She couldn't go out.
That is
She's a
heartbreaking.
programmer.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
And
how much she should make? She's not able
she
to
should
rent
be she
by
should
herself.
be yeah, and that is it. They encourage you to get into debt to pay for their courses. They
She
don't
can,
care.
she cannot.
They
She
just
cannot rent by herself.
Yeah.
She have to share accommodation.
Yeah.
She live very basic life.
very poor
And
life that
can
she
you imagine she's programming,
Yeah.
mastering programming.
And that's why
Yeah.
I come out here protesting,
That's
because I've listened to a lot of
that's
stories.
why
I've listened to a lot of
Yeah.
stories of survivors of people have left the cult and of their stories, and it's just impacted me that much. That me being out here, I want to try and spread awareness that people have passed by and think maybe
That's
there
why.
is some harm in
You don't
going
mind
in
if
for
I
free.
record it, yeah?
Oh no, yeah, work away,
Yeah,
please
because
do.
I want to put it even in my page of the
Do please do
TikTok,
and
yeah.
spread awareness. Talk to
Yeah.
your family and friends. Spread awareness
Yeah.
about that this is not
One second,
a.
I tell you, you can talk. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. What do you think about this place? Can you explain to us, please?
This place is, they pretend to be a church and a community centre, but they are a highly abusive cult. Fundamentally, it's a money scam. They want people's money. They trap people into a prison of beliefs that you're no longer capable of independent thought. You believe in the group mindset. And their founder, you'll see the picture there in the window of LRH. If it hasn't been written down by LRH, it's not true. So for anyone to believe the word of just one single man, that in itself tells you that's a cult. And one thing I do highly recommend that you do.
It's okay to show your face, or you
Oh
don't?
no, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay to show my face. Yeah, so I come out here at the weekend as often as I can with my signs and to spread awareness. And if you want to follow me on YouTube, my YouTube is Irish_Mart.
Okay. Can you repeat it again, please, the YouTube?
It's Irish_Mart. So that is IRISH_MART. And I would encourage everyone is do some Googles, find out for yourself about Scientology and about its many abuses. A lot of people, ex-members, have spoken out about the abuses. And I would say talk to your family and friends, talk to your work colleagues, spread awarenesses about the evils of this cult.
Thank
They
you.
offer no good to humanity at all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is fantastic, lads. This is a fantastic day. That was another Indian gentleman stopped to talk to me. I spoke there very briefly on his camera, where I was slightly tongue tied and didn't quite know what to say. But I think the fact I said something is kind of enough. I don't need to be word perfect all the time. He recorded my posters as well on this place, and he's going to spread awarenesses. He's already aware of the evils of Scientology. He was saying there that he has a family member who's been a member of the cult of Scientology for 30 years. She's a programmer, so that means she earns a lot of money, and yet she can't afford to own her own house she's renting. She can barely afford to feed herself. Just switch back on the music there again, lads. And we have more people turning up. They look like Indian gentlemen. So we have some more Indian gentlemen going into this event. What are we at 5 o'clock? So I wonder, are they Scientologists, or are they just popping up here because they seen the free event advertised on Eventbrite? Either which way is sad to see. Because anyone going in there, they're most definitely going to be susceptible to the cult mindset. That's that guy I spoke to earlier that didn't quite understand me when I was trying to explain to him this place is a cult. So he has gone in there. But hopefully me being here would have planted some seeds of doubt with him. And he'll do some Googles in his own language to try and educate himself. But we can only just hope there, lads. Yeah, he didn't on it. So I tried to explain how best I can, and it does give me it does leave me with something to think about and ponder and to try and think, is there a way I can be more clear with my message? Is there some messaging I could bring with me that non-native English speakers will understand? So that's certainly some homework for myself to do there. Yeah, he could have been Russian or Ukrainian. He could have been all right, lads. So maybe I do need myself a sign like Miriam has, with Scientology, the cult in a bunch of different languages. Haggis says, never take their phones and type in for them. Remember? Oh, exactly. Paulette Cooper and fingerprints. Oh, exactly, Haggis. Exactly. You are dead right there. Talk about child sexual abuse and you tap and put Lara FM on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, if I thought about that, Haggis. If I had thought about that. Alternative language signs. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Donna. Yeah, I used the because they are targeting the Russians and the Ukrainians and the Romanians. And also last year they did have quite a few Polish events on as well, and the Indians. So it'd be those 4 or 5 languages would definitely be worthwhile for me to do some posters in. Yeah, I do need to come up with some sales pattern that I can give when I'm caught in the hop instead of just saying whatever pops into my mind. That is true, I guess I do. Or even better still, if I have some leaflets with me that I can give them to say, yeah, if I had a leaflet front and back with some information on it even. I have some homework there to do for myself. That's a good idea, Jojo. If they are not good with English, you just tell them through the signs, and you're sure they can read better. Yeah, yeah. I do think having a sign in all the different languages would definitely be worthwhile. Maybe you could make yourself some flashcards with some key points. That's a good idea, Rock. Some flashcards, yeah, like Samuel has. That is absolutely a fantastic idea. You guys are giving me some fantastic ideas there. It's just slow right there. Yeah, you're right, Haggis. Do need to, yeah, that is a good point. Is to talk more slower. I do tend to talk fast. Then it is illegal to work for $47 a week. It most definitely is, because that would be well below minimum wage. But when you're classified as a volunteer, you effectively don't have any rights. Just going to pick up my poster that has fallen down here. We do have a few intermittent gusts of wind. There we go. That's better. Some more people turning up there, all right. I honestly don't know if they get anything here, Lady J. I absolutely haven't a clue if they get paid here or not. Or if it's just purely all voluntary where they're given the free courses. And then some of their members will be staying in accommodation that the cult is renting for them. That is something I would be interested in now. Are they getting paid anything at all? Like in Ireland, if you are a volunteer, you typically you don't get paid money, but you are entitled to be paid something by the organisation to cover your travel expenses and say your food, more that kind of thing. So I don't know if that's how they do it. But then Scientology is registered here as a not-for-profit organisation, which that effectively means they don't have to pay income tax. But if you're not paying your staff income, so this is where that's Devontae there, is it? Shaking hands with people. So he's the meet and greet man. But are these Scientologists? She certainly looks like a Scientologist the way she's walking. So Devontae is doing the meeting and greeting. Quite a few turning up there now. Well, like the car park still isn't particularly full. There's still room left in that car park, which I think is what we seen last year as well. The car park wasn't strictly speaking full. And then there are people going, so I guess there were people here that were strictly here for the Indian cultural event and have no interest in the LRH birthday celebrations. So that's good anyway, I guess. But that is good now. That's two Indian gentlemen that I've spoken to today, and they're going to do their own independent research and spread awareness among their family and friends just as great. Because we badly do need to spread the word among our increasingly growing Indian population here. Because based on the events that Scientology have advertised on Eventbrite, and the one they're on today, they have another one. It's a paid one that's here tomorrow. They are aggressively targeting the Indian population here. So this is good that we are managing to spread some awareness. I would so dearly love to know the answer to that, Lady Jane. What exactly are the staff members getting here? I'm not haggis, and that is something, yeah, I should bring, yeah. Damn your flashcards, I do them at home somewhere. I do need to, yeah, I should bring them out with me. Absolutely, because that would help prop my memory as well if I had a flashcard to look at as well, instead of me getting tongue-tied. Donner saying in high school we got a guest speaker who came to warn us about cults. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic, Donna. That is what we need, more cult awareness. Amy is saying, look at the Duggar cult, the IBLP. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at that tomorrow, Amy. I can say, the definition of religion is a cult where you believe everything they tell you. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong in believing in what you like. It's when the belief system is harmful, which Scientology is. Like, fundamentally, they're a money scam, but they do fuck with the mind. There is no good in their teachings or their belief systems. It's all about mind fuckery. I don't think there's anyone who has practiced Scientology for 2, 5, 10 years that walk away from Scientology and says, yeah, I'm no longer a member, and yeah, that was the best spend 10 years of my life. Oh yeah, I got value for money spending that 50 grand, $100,000 or whatever they spent on it. I don't think anyone walks away unscathed. I really don't. I recognise that gentleman. He was at one of these Indian events here last year, so he is most definitely a Scientologist. I'm pretty sure that I said, I'm gonna have to go back and look at some of my last year footage. He most definitely does look familiar. I think he was the guy that was here at that last Indian event last year. I most definitely do think it's him. That's a good idea, actually, I guess. That's an excellent idea. Yeah, I like the idea. Sorry?
What are you doing there? Why are you filming? Why are you filming?
Why?
Why? Yeah.
Because there's people want to know. People want to know and see what's happening here.
It is not your territory.
Sorry?
It is not your territory. You're not placed why you don't ask. When I film you, some people ask my name. No?
I'm here on public property. It's my right to film if I want.
I give you a question. When I filming you, I will be asked you. It's not a problem when I'm filming you. I can film you. Okay.
I would encourage.
Filming
I would encourage you to look up the laws. You're here at a private event. The laws are different. You're on private premises there. I'm on public property. So yes, I do not consent to you filming me from private property. Look up the laws on consent and where you are legally allowed to film. Look up the Irish laws, mate. He's not quite a young spring chicken, so he's most definitely a cult member. He was an LRH birthday celebration shirt he had on him. This is what puzzles my autistic brain. Why would I have an issue with him filming me? I'm out here in public filming myself. So why would I have an issue? This is what I don't get. I just don't understand sometimes some of what these Scientologists say. Like, if I didn't want to be filmed in public, because I know they're filming me, there are cameras all over the place here. I'm in plain view. I'm not hidden in the bushes or discreetly film. I'm here out here in the open. Like, this is where my logical brain says, this is a stupid question. Like, why are you asking me yet, lad? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Oh, exactly, Amy. And that is why I'm so delighted. That's two Indian gentlemen to talk to me. They will spread it like wildfire among the Indian population because they do talk to each other and they do largely stick together, which makes sense. When you're a population of 1.5% over here, I fully understand it because I know the Irish, when they emigrated abroad, they largely grouped together as well. And who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe a native white Irish person, or are you going to believe a fellow Indian? You're probably going to believe a fellow Indian. And that is where once the cult taps in one Indian fella, you can see how it would be relatively easy for that one Indian fella, once he's become an active Scientologist and believes in it will be relatively quick for him to entice in his family and friends and his work colleagues. So that is good that we have some non-members who are helping to spread awareness. And it does show I need to keep an eye on a Brent White and try and come out here when there are, in particular, when there are Indian events on. Now, I don't have that much flexibility when I can come out here, but it's definitely something for me to try and make an effort to do. So I think today has been absolutely highly successful. Absolutely. Hey, Murmurs, how are you? Hey, Matt, great to see you, mate. I guess that guy coming up to the fence like that, was that supposed to intimidate me? If it was, I didn't understand what he was doing. I don't know what nationality he is. I don't recognise the accent. It's kind of strange though that they're having their lunch sitting on the bench outside. I wonder maybe is he have to yeah, don't know, would he be working here maybe? Or would he been sent out to do that, or is he just working off his own initiative? Maybe he is working, maybe he is someone here, a Scientologist working at this event. And this is his little lunch break then to have his food, I wonder. Like it's not particularly warm. It's not particularly warm out here, lads. Like I'm starting to feel the cold a bit. I have a Meridio wool base layer on underneath, top and bottom. I have a t-shirt, a long sleeve hoodie on, and two coats on me, and I'm still feeling the cold. I have knee-high socks on, and I have the gloves on. That guy was in a long sleeve shirt. It didn't look particularly warm, and yet they're sitting out having their nibbles. So I wonder is that him on his little wee break from the event? Didn't look like much anyway. The plate of food he had, it looked like very cheap. Looked like very cheap food the poor guy had. Didn't look like much at all, lads. So we're not missing much being on this side of the fence. That's for sure. Amy is saying Romanian is a Romance language. The other two are Slovak ones. Oh, interesting. I think the same here. That's why they get away with so little payments. Oh, it's the same with the when you're a volunteer. Yeah, because when you're a volunteer here, you don't get paid any wages. You don't get sick pay. You don't get holiday pay. You have no entitlements. You know, like if you think of a traditional job here, you get your holiday pay, you get a certain amount of sick pay, and then normally most companies will be paying into your pension then as well. These guys get none of that. But what you can get is you can get what do they call it? You can be given money that will cover your travel expenses and say things like your food, you know, that sort of thing. I don't know what the correct word to call that is. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and find out what exactly these guys do get paid. How does it work? Because we're no doubt that there are sold and working here that they're getting all these free courses. And they're free courses. Oh, geez, you could easily sell it. Oh, yeah, all these free courses you get in a year, it's for $100,000 a year or something. So there's so many different ways they can swing it. Nah, I doubt it, Lady Jane. I doubt David Miscavige is here. You know what they will be watching? The poor fuckers. They're going to be sitting inside there watching the watching the video they took of the event in East Greenwich. That's what they'll be watching. The highly edited event from East Greenwich. There we have more Indians. They are nicely dressed. I wonder are they cult members? Why are we 5:20? So are they cult members or are they just here for the free food? I can't blame anyone for popping in for the free food. Like, pop in for the free events and the free food, but educate yourselves first, though, lads. Do you know what I mean? Have your eyes wide open and be aware of the dangers of this cult. And for fuck's sake, don't give them your real name and address, nor your phone number. There is some Hindu temples here, Amy. That is true, and that is definitely something. Yeah, that's another good angle. Is to talk to the. Yeah, that is a good idea. I have to look into the Hindu temples here. That's another way of helping to spread awareness. There's a vast majority of Indians, I think, are Hindus. Kel Storm is saying, I've got them running today in pool. Soon as I said what they were, they went and hid. Oh, jeez. You know me, I guess I'm just too polite. I would never tell anyone to bog off. You'd have to really be annoying and upsetting me. Like, I'm more than happy to talk to the guy if I felt there was any, if I felt there was any, if I felt there was any chance of me getting through. But it obviously wasn't really interesting in what I had to say. All he just kept saying, oh, I film you, I film you. Yeah, I don't care if you film me, but educate yourself on what the Irish laws here. There's a big difference. I'm standing here on public property. I'm legally able to record on public property. He's standing on private ground. That's where he's covered by slightly different data protection laws. And that is where he could get himself into a bit of bother, Phil or me, when he's on this side of the fence, if you know what I mean. That's where it makes all the difference in the world between private and public, lads. And I do suggest to him he educate himself in Irish law, which I'm not sure if he understood or not. Or if even he was even bothered in listening to what I might say. I don't think he was even bothered in what I had to say. I think I might be a little bit behind. Not sure how far behind I am here. Donna says my word. Norma Rossetti was confronting an SP, exactly. A very special person, so I am. Absolutely. Amy, they are bullies and liars. It's part of the training and indoctrination that they're given. That despite them claiming to be the most ethical beings on the planet, they're allowed to lie by any foul means possible. They're allowed to discredit anyone who dares speak the truth about the cult of Scientology. And it does seem to be that the teachings and the bull baiting and the routines they do, it does seem to make them very aggressive. Where people are not quite their true selves. This is the cult personality that they've adopted. I have a group of Indian teenagers there. There definitely are quite a few Indians attending this event. Hard to say whether they just turned up here because it is a free event that Scientology has advertised on Eventbrite. So they could very well just have turned up for the free nibbles. But definitely from what I have seen on all my trips out here this past year, there definitely are some Indians here that have gotten themselves under the Scientology hooks. I guess it is. Prepare yourself a little speech about the amount of cameras they have. Tell them it's a stupid question at that point. Absolutely. But like, I just don't get it. Why do these things? Because I'm out here in public, camera in hand. Why would I have an issue with someone filming me? Like, it doesn't make any sense. This is where that'll rattle around in me brain for the rest of tonight, lads, and probably even tomorrow trying to make sense of it. Just a daft question. Absolutely daft. And is that the best thing you could think of to ask me? Jesus. Oh, exactly, Jojo. For my safety, make sure I film them if they come up to you. Yeah, that is true. As I tend not to. I tend to try not to film people because that's just the way I prefer to operate. But you're right, when it is clearly a Scientologist, and if they are walking anywhere near my vicinity, I should take the cautious approach and I should film them. You're right there. Antic says, yeah, but he needs to ask himself what are Scientology's crimes at fault her in all. Oh, exactly, Antics, yeah. What are your crimes? That might be a good one to say to Scientologists next time is, what are your crimes? Haggis says, listen to Joe, get their face on, they approach you so aggressively. Absolutely, Haggis. And Joe, you're absolutely right. That's something I do need to do. I do need to remember to do that to film them when they do look like they are approaching me for my own safety. Now we are separated by the fence here. But you're all right, it is good though to capture their faces because you never know. I am going to be coming out here as often as I can. Them being Scientologists is more than likely going to see me out here again, and you're right. Just in case his behaviour does accelerate in any way. Yeah, it's right. It's good to pragmate out that way. So yeah, you guys are absolutely spot on. Antics is saying, come over, can't hide your bad ass under. Oh, exactly. Yeah, their facade can't hide their cultiness. Nice, definitely is a cult. Yeah, I'm always trying to protect myself by getting his face on your stream. Absolutely, that's something for me to remember next time. Yeah, I tried to zoom in, Haggis. But actually, now that the light is a bit darker, so that is me zoomed in. You can't make out what the picture is on the books there, but I'll do a Google later and see if I can try and work out what them books are, because I can see it slightly more clearer with my own eyes. How's it going?
Hello, my dear.
I know, work away.
Yeah, I've seen you've here before.
Yeah,
I think last year as well.
yeah. Last year I tried to come out as often as I can,
Yes.
but I work full time and I can't always come out every
Yes.
weekend. But I try to just to spread awareness
Yeah.
because they call themselves a church and a
Yes.
community centre. Now we know they're a
Yeah.
cult,
Yeah.
and most people know that cults probably maybe not a good idea going there to free
Yeah.
personality test.
Yeah.
There's normally devious intent behind cults.
Yes. Yeah.
That they tend to be abusive and they tend to be money orientated.
Yes. That's right. Yeah.
But the way church and community centre, and then we have a lot of non-native English speakers here.
Yes.
They'll see the word church and community and they'll say, oh geez, what's the harm? I'll come in for a free event. Oh, they're doing a free Indian cultural event. Oh, fantastic, I'll come in.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm out here. I wear the high vis, have me posters here, and it's just try and prompt. Wonder why that lady is out here. Maybe I should do some Googles and find out for myself.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to counteract the positive image the culture be selling them.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. I remember there was an objection when they came here first. Now I don't know a lot about them, but my initial feeling was they're a cult. And like all the cults, and they're very like a lot of cults in America now, you know. I mean, even Trump now is really a cult.
Oh, it almost, it definitely is. There's this book here is by Stephen Hassan on combating cult mind control.
Yes.
And you kind of realise you have a better understanding for how cults operate.
Yes.
And even how an abusive relationship
Yes.
shares a lot of the same similarities. It's the same mindfuckery and the coercive control that you're under.
Yeah.
And where you're thinking, you're doing things, you have your own independent thought, you think, not realizing, actually, no, that's the group mindset, is the way you've been indoctrinated.
The way you've been indoctrinated, yeah.
And it is all about abuse and fucking money. Fundamentally, it's a money scam.
It's a money scam.
But the way I've, up until 3 years ago, I always knew Scientology is a cult, but I never knew about the sheer level of abuses. I just thought, this is a scam for the likes of Leah Remedy, Tom Cruise, the wealthy fucking idiots, more
Yeah.
money that sent you there.
That's
Fuck them, they're too much
Yeah.
money. And then I even heard a story on YouTube I stumbled across maybe 5 years ago of a Mexican guy saying, oh, he worked his arse off entire life. He got into the clutches of Scientology. He was paying 100,000, 200,000 to do some of the courses. They encouraged him to get into debt, take out fraudulent bank loans. And my initial reaction was, this is the greatest load of bullshit. I don't believe a word of it. And then I thought nothing more of it. And then when the news about Danny Masson broke about him raping all the women over 30 years and getting away with it, and I found he was a Scientologist, and that got me then looking into Scientology.
Yes.
And I stumbled across so many channels on YouTube of survivors, people who grew up in Scientology or joined as an altruist left, and they're talking out about the experience. And I realised, oh fuck, this is one of the most abusive, worst cults that have probably ever been in existence. Certainly they're in existence now. And for me, it has such an impact on me. I can't bear to think of just one single person innocently walking in there and becoming a member. And that is why I'm coming out here. You can imagine there's by far better things I could be doing with my spare time. It's not, there's no way I'm making any money or anything here. Do you know what I mean? I just think, you know what? The older I get, the more I just think we have a duty of care just to look out for one another.
That's right, yeah.
I have no personal interaction. I don't know anyone personally until I started watching the YouTube channels out there and listening to people's stories. And these are people who never met. They have, the stories are different, but yet they're very same.
Yes.
The level of the abuse that they've suffered is a fucking same.
Yeah, there's a same type of thread through them all.
Yeah.
But you've no personal, they haven't done, did they come out to you and object to you standing here?
You know what they did do when I first started coming out? They called the guards and they said I was harassing staff members.
Yes.
And like, I stand here.
Standing here, you're on public property.
Yeah, the entrance is, you have to go way down at the end and then in around. And it's not like even somebody walked by and I said, you fucking idiot or something. You know, if there had been an interaction, then I could say, well, then accuse me of harassment. They just made it up.
To influence people not to go in there.
Yeah, so they called the guards, and the guards came and they seen I'm just standing here, and they said, oh, you've been standing here the whole time? And I said, yeah. I said to him, I'm either over there or up that way that I go live on YouTube, so I can film myself coming here and prove at no stage did I, in a fit of madness, jump over the fence and go fucking berserk. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm on live on YouTube now, and it is to prove where exactly I am, and it's also another way of reaching people. That this YouTube will push us out to some more people, and that's another way of spreading awareness. Because Scientology they seem to be all over the world. They have a small presence, and they're praying at the moment because so many people have left. English speakers know that they're a cult. They're proactively and aggressively targeting non-native English speakers, and you can even see there's quite a lot of Indians there today.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, but so after that, the guard said you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, they said you're doing nothing wrong. You're public property. You're filming, which you're legally entitled to do. You're not harassing anyone. We can see there you're just quietly. Yeah, exactly. And it is a peaceful protest.
It's a non-invasive protest.
Exactly.
Like you said, you're not trying to stop anybody going in there. You're just trying to open eyes.
Exactly, and that is why I'm not going in there. I'm not trying to say, oh, you're being fucking brainwashed. Come with me. I'll save you, lads. No, it's just, and I think the peaceful way is more way of people will be more perceptive to listening and to say, oh, maybe that lady has a point. Maybe I will look into it. Maybe she's not out here because it's a money element. Maybe she's out here because she genuinely cares. Do you know what I mean? So, and I think that's the approach that most people buy into.
Just
and
to
you know,
to look at. I don't know anything about them now.
Do you know what is it? If you are looking for a book to read, this is a good one to read, just to look out for, is Jamie Mustard's Child X. He's
Jamie
someone who
Mustard.
grew up
That's the
as a
name.
child in Scientology, but his story of abuse is by no means unique. There are people, there's a writer in Denmark, Robert Dam. He's written a book. He's talked to loads of children,
Yeah,
now adults, who grew up in
yeah,
Scientology all over Europe. He's talked to them. He's collated a lot of their stories in a book called Hotel of Darkness.
mm,
It was released last year in Danish, but this year it's going to be translated and released in English.
Danish, yeah,
That's another good book to look out for.
yeah.
Because
That's the author there. That's a
and this
name
is
you wouldn't forget.
and this
Mustard.
yeah, and this is a guy who grew up in America.
Mm,
And then Robert Dam, the stories he's
yeah,
collated in New York. There's so many fucking
yeah,
celebrities of abuse.
yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
horrific.
See, as you go through life, you begin to see abuse all around us in different forms.
It's where you realize, and you realize fundamentally, you know, the way you think growing up, you think that the government has your best interest at heart, and then you realize they fucking don't. It's what they deem is for the greater good,
Yeah,
and that is where we just need to look out for each other.
yeah, yeah,
And then even some people don't have even the luxury of having two
yeah.
good parents.
Mm,
Jesus, they have one good parent, they're fucking lucky. Do
mm,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I often pass you by and I often thought to myself, I wonder what the latest protest is about
Yeah,
because you can't read it as you go by.
yeah, and that is
People,
it. But that's where
people
I
support.
have the fluorescent paper, and that is just that. Oh, I wonder why. Because it's clear the arm against Scientology,
Yeah,
and then that's it. Maybe I'll do some googles and
yeah,
see. Maybe I'll see what this is about.
yeah.
You know, and that's why I
Make
come out.
people aware.
And then sometimes I will see cars will slow down and have a bit of a read,
Yeah,
and people as they're walking by, like yourself just now, will have a bit of a read.
yeah,
And it's just to plant the
yeah.
seeds it out
Well, that's why I
that
wanted. Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
there is some harm of going in attending a free event,
yeah,
of going in for a free personality test. Because you know what absolutely breaks my heart to see, and I think it's absolutely disgusting of our government, and this is where the badly let us down. The Irish Dancing Association,
yeah.
they do a lot of their competitions here.
All right, yeah.
Absolutely. Because then you know yourself, kids are highly impressionable. They're
Yes,
going in, there's cult merchandise, like they have their widescreen TVs on, pumping out Scientology TV. They have their merchandise, their books, their pamphlets
yeah,
all over the place in there. So there's no way. So a child Irish dancing, say from the age of 6 to
mm,
16. So that's over a course of 10 years, probably
mm,
half a dozen
mm,
times, and they're going in here. So they're going to grow up thinking, oh, that's that harmless place. I used to do my Irish dancing.
yes,
Where's the harm going into a free personality? So maybe a leaflet that might see a way to happiness. And maybe they've left home during college and they're having a bad time not making friends. You just never know what might stick.
so they host events to draw people in.
Oh, exactly. And this is it. And they're kind of playing the long game as well. It's just to
Yeah,
try and
playing
entice
the
you in.
long game.
Just to lower your guard that you have a good impression of them,
Yeah. Yes.
and you're just blissfully
Yeah.
unaware of the dangers. Like the way I look at it is, would you bring your kids to a known drug den if they
No.
promise, oh, don't worry, today we're just doing a kids friendly event,
Yeah.
we won't sell any drugs
Yeah.
today?
That's right.
Too
Yeah.
fucking right, you wouldn't,
Yeah.
because parents are just blissfully unaware
Yeah.
of the dangers.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
And that's why I just hope by me being out here, that just helps to plant some seeds of doubt that
Yeah.
maybe there is a danger here, lads.
Mm. Mm.
Because you definitely don't want to be, the last thing to do would be to take
Yeah.
Scientologists' word for it, because obviously they're going to paint a rosy picture of it.
Yeah.
And their view is going to be, oh, come in, try do a free personality test.
Yeah.
Try one of our free courses for yourself. Yeah, she's just embittered because she'd been paid by Big
Yeah.
Pharma.
Yeah.
They have this thing about Big Pharma because LRH had this, their founder, he did not like psychiatrists or pharmaceutical companies. For whatever reason, he just did not like them. So that's built into their beliefs that they're fucking
Yeah.
evil.
All right.
And then one of their front groups here, their drug free world and the truth about drugs and things like that. It's not that they're looking for that. You think drug free world, oh Jesus, that sounds good. They
Yeah.
don't want anyone to be hooked on cocaine or meth or anything like that.
Yes. Yeah.
But what they mean by drug free world is all drugs.
Yeah.
That your life saving Caesar medication,
Yes.
cancer medication,
Yeah.
they're bad and evil.
Yeah.
And then even things like ADHD medication, which does help a lot of people,
Yes. Yeah.
whether you believe in that or not. But generally, I know people as
Yeah.
adults
Yeah.
who have taken the ADHD medication and it's improved their quality of life.
Yes. Improves that.
So
People are against that.
these guys are against all of that, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And even their own members, they'll proactively dissuade them for seeking medical help when
Yes.
they have problems. They'll say one of the things that they believe in that your physical ailments are all caused by a sick mind. We
Mm.
cure your mind.
Mm.
Your aching back will magically be
Mm.
gone.
Yeah.
Your cancer will magically be cured.
Yeah.
All this kind of thing.
They're in the
So
business of taking over people's minds.
yeah, so it's harmful is the belief system. And I don't know if you're aware of Lisa McPherson.
Was she persuaded off her medication?
She was someone who she got up to the OT levels, which is supposed to be this is when you're on the bridge to total freedom, they call it, or where you're at that stage you should have full control of your body and everything else. It's all a snake oil, they tell you. But she was starting to realise there's something fucking not right about this thing. And she was having, and like the way I look at, I do think the teachings of Scientology is either bend or break your mind.
Yeah.
It broke her mind. She had a mental health crisis, where she stripped off naked, running through the streets. And when the police came along, she begged them to take her into psychiatric care.
Mm.
But because they were Scientologists about, they persuaded them, oh, she's one of ours, we'll look after her.
Right.
And that's where they had her locked in a room for 40 days, where she wasn't, or was 17 days, sorry, where she lost 40 pounds in weight in them 17 days.
Wow.
She wasn't eating, she wasn't taking water. And none of the fuckers, like there would have been 40 or more Scientologists there
Mm.
that would have been seen to her. I would have been aware of her. And none of them thought, this isn't right, lads, we need to call 999 urgently. And that is, and I don't, and this is where I'm kind of torn. In one way, I think, bastards. But in the other way, I understand because it's the cult mindset, or where you just know, you know it's wrong, but you can't speak out because then you'll get punished.
Yeah, part of it.
So
yeah.
when you're under that control, you're afraid to speak out, even if you think, this doesn't seem right, lads. So to lose 40 pounds in 17 days,
Wow.
and then even when they did realise, holy shit, this lady is dying here, we need to do something. Because if they have a corpse on their premises, that's going to
Yeah.
open up a can of worms, all sorts of questions are going to be asked. They didn't bring her to the nearest hospital.
Mm.
They brought her to hospital 4 hospitals away,
Mm.
so that there'd be less blowback on them. So obviously she died. And then the coroner initially ruled out that it was homicide. And then she changed her mind later because obviously she was hobbled by Scientology, where she said it was an accidental death. And her, and she's just one, she's just one fucking example. It's absolutely heartbreaking, man.
That's why I just wanted to have a chat with you.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
see what your thought
And I'm
process was.
trying to also to encourage people,
Yeah.
because most people know it's a cult, but you don't hear people talking about
Yeah.
it. And that's why I'm just trying to, if I can try and encourage people, like you say,
Yeah.
go home, talk to your family and friends.
Yeah.
It's just try and spread awareness about Scientology and even in cults in general, because we badly
Does
need
somebody
that.
pick you up, or do you carry all this stuff home?
Oh, I carry it all home. I have a IKEA bag that I put all my signs into. And I live on the other side of Dublin, so it's quite a trek to me.
Come all the way.
Yeah, so like it's a 5-hour round trip to me. But that just shows how much I do think
Yeah.
it's worthwhile for me to be here. And even now it's getting a bit bloody cold. I'll
Yeah.
probably consider heading away shortly. But I do think it's worthwhile because to me, just the thought of one person going in there and signing up and becoming out, that to me makes me being out here worthwhile. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how much I do genuinely believe there's absolutely no good Scientology does.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Oh yeah, thanks for
and you've
talking to
enlightened
us.
me, I can
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you that.
yeah. And just talk to your family and friends. Try and get the conversation going to people are more cult aware. Because you know
More aware,
yourself.
yeah.
And another group I'd be worried about is the young people, because you know the way, like you probably grew up Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, people aren't quite as religious.
Yes.
They don't have that religious foundation. And you know, a young person is curious, will be looking for something.
Yes.
And they might see Scientology, oh, that's science and technology.
Filling the gap.
Jesus, yeah. So like,
Yeah, yeah. Some people feel they need to belong to something, you know.
but that is part of in our DNA because it's our instinct is to be part of a community, is to belong. Because you think back, even back to the days when we were hunter and gatherers,
Yeah,
and one person would not have thrived on their
yeah.
own.
You're in a group. You
Yeah,
can't
so
just survive.
and then with obviously with like-minded people, and I swear you might look in the wrong places.
Yeah.
If you're 18, you've moved out from home in college,
Mm.
maybe for every reason you haven't managed to make any friends.
Yeah, and that's somewhere to
Maybe fucking worse. You've made a friend, but your friend is a Scientologist.
Yes.
And that's where you innocently gone in because your friend is saying,
Mm.
"Oh, come on in here.
Mm.
This doing this Dianetics, this other thing has done wonders for me. Oh, Jesus, my mental health has improved me. Come
Yeah.
on in." Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because you obviously you trust your friend.
Yeah. This is So one draws the other.
Exactly, and that is predominantly probably the main ways they're getting people in is through family members and then friends.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, nice meeting
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
nice talking.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for stopping to talk to us. Yeah, yeah.
Luck in your cause.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you. Geez, that was a great conversation with an older gentleman, very interested in what I'm doing out here. I think I'm going to pack it up shortly because I'm actually starting to shiver a little bit, lads. It has gotten a bit fucking on the cold side here. I thought we were in spring. This is fucking winter weather. Apologies, I'm cursing there a little bit. Doo-doo-doo. Hey, Style, how are you? And it's saying you don't get paid here either, so stipend for living expenses, yeah. So that's how they get around it. Hey, Miriam. Yeah, they get away with giving you enough for toilet paper and toothpaste. Yeah, that's probably about all. I wonder do they even use toilet paper? Or the LRH have told them, yeah, cut up an old t-shirt and use that and you can wash that in the sink. Why waste money on the disposable toilet paper? Or maybe you didn't think of that one. Ah, fantastic Style, you're at a protest. Absolutely fantastic. Exactly, antics. Yeah, they should provide them with toilet paper, you're right. But then if they did provide them with toilet paper, they'd probably steal it to bring home with them to save them having to buy it themselves. Amy is saying their offerings are paltry. I've been dragged to their events, you arrive hungry and leave hungrier. Yeah, because based on what I could see on that man's plate, Jesus fucking Christ. It was low grade. If that was something you'd expect to see at a poor student's party, was what he had on his plate. I was actually shocked what was on it. I would well believe it and accept to buy their own toilet paper. Antic says I was after free dinner by the Krishnas and was like a big nope. Oh, exactly, yeah. No such thing as a free lunch, as they say, but there's some fucking lunches or dinners are fucking hard pass, exactly. Exactly, murmurs, culture gatherings, mass recruiting events, absolutely. Hey, the journey, how are you? And Texas Spain. I did eat once a Mennonite breakfast once, but we did pay for it as you feel the meal was sort of worth the deal. Yeah, the Mennonites are their own unique traditional group. Not quite the same as a cult, but probably not something I'd want to join either. They're a bit too traditional in their views, whereas I think progress is good. Well, some progress is good. I'm not sure the world has progressed in a good direction. I think we're overcapitalized. There's too few men holding all the money, if you know what I mean. We don't have an even distribution of wealth. I know it's starting to rain a little bit. I might have to think about packing it up. Suppose I have been here for quite a while. Oh yeah, we're 10 to 6. Antics is saying fruit poison at the very least. Absolutely, it wouldn't surprise me. And I don't think I'd be trusting food that are cooked by a Scientologist. That's for sure, absolutely. Hiya, dear, how are you? I guess I also find the teaching them not to blink. Oh, exactly. I guess that is the point of teaching them not to blink or react. Exactly. Hey, Pie Maker James, how are you? Yeah, at the moment it is 8 minutes to 6 here. So we'll have sunlight probably for another, probably 40 minutes. It's starting to get a little bit dark here. It is starting to rain a little bit. Miriam is saying there's a strange brown animal just on the left side of the camera frame. I think the people outside Ireland call it sun. Absolutely, yeah. We so rarely get to see the sun here. That is for sure. One thing we do get in abundance is rain. I think we must get the world's share of rain over here. Murmurs is saying maybe drop some info at their place of worship a morning at the community about the country of the cult of Scientology. That is actually an absolutely fantastic idea, Murmurs. I gotten some excellent suggestions on this stream today of how we can help to spread awareness among the Indian population to try and offset. Miriam is saying, what chat is Irish reading? I'm hours behind Miriam, I dare say. I'm hours behind. And we're slightly distracted talking to the good people of Ireland, helping to spread awareness. And he's saying, we tie up the sun, you should see our things. You can keep the sun antics. I am convinced the sun is out to end me. I do not fare well in the sun. Anything above 20 degrees, 23 degrees Celsius here, lads. And it's no lie, I'm liable to drop like a sack of hot potatoes. And I have done it too. Where all of a sudden it's lights out and Irish is flat on the ground. So I do take better precautions these days. I try to avoid the hot midday sun and I try to make sure I drink plenty of water as well to keep well hydrated. In the rare event that we do have sun here. Yep, the journey. It's LRH's birthday celebration. Or as I like to call it, it's really, if you think about it, my first ever live on YouTube was this day here last year. So really, it's a celebration for Irish. Only I guess LRH is just that much easier to fit on their little birthday cake. I wonder, maybe do they have birthday cake even in there? Well, I certainly won't be touching a slice of it. I do not want any overdosing in ice, and thanks very much. I'll maybe treat myself to some lemon cheesecake on the way home. Yeah, I think so. You know, it is my anniversary. I think so. I should treat myself to some Sicilian lemon cheesecake. Yep, I'm a tad bit behind, that is for sure. Yes, the birthday of the rotten teeth. Poor Jesus. Thanks very much, dear. Yeah, if you'd all be so good as to double tap the screen to like, share, and tell all your friends about the strange creature you stumbled upon on the YouTubes. Yeah, to be fair, Antics, we do hog all the rain, that's for sure. We most definitely do. Jeremy says, I find it so funny, instead of streaming it live, they record and edit, then send to all the other places to play for them. Absolutely, absolutely the journey, and I think it's about 3 hours that will be sitting down watching the video as well. Jesus, and where you have to do their fake smiles and their clapping. Definitely not a free event I'd want to go in for. Definitely not worth a free plate of food for that. Exactly, Cathy. They can't stream it live because they can't add all the people in. Absolutely. And then they probably need to make Davey look like he's 10 feet tall and not. Or is he 4'10" or something? Marrying semantics. I'm a say to take most of the sun, but I don't mind the Irish robbing the rain. Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what, if you don't like the rain, I'd say stay away from the west of Ireland. They get even more rain than we do on this side of the world. Jesus. Yep, Antic Stephen Hassan's Combating Cult Mind Control. Absolutely. It's a fantastic book. Oops. These fingers are mine. Absolutely, Miriam. That the older gentleman I was speaking to there. Yeah, and this is what is very encouraging is the older gentleman I was speaking to there. He said, "Yeah, I've seen you out here a number of times last year." So that is great that people do that. The how am I trying to say? I'm tripping over my words. That's a good sign. Irish is getting tired when I forget my words. What was I trying to say there? No, it's a good sign that consistency does pay off because he did remark he has seen me out here on numerous occasions last year. And he's thought because he was curious as to why I am here and why do I think Scientology is abusive. And I did say to him, yeah, do your own independent research. I showed him Jamie's book and said, yeah, go home, talk to your family and friends. Try and start the conversation going. Try and get people talking more about Scientology and cults in general and just trying to spread that awareness. Antics the same here. I will trade you a day of sun for a day in a rain anytime. Now I'll stick with the rain. At least with the rain you can wear extra layers of clothes. The sun, there's only so many clothes you can take off before you get arrested for indecent exposure. Donner Antics, I've been hearing that name for years. I'm sorry. When I went and checked him out recently, now I get a. Oh, exactly. I have to say, I think Stephen Hassan is an absolute genius in that he's a way of explaining things in a way that us normal people can understand. And I have watched quite a lot of his content on YouTube as well. And it is interesting to see when he interviews people from other cults who have since left and realised, and the way there's a lot of similarities there. And there's one lady I seen recently, the way she said that the personality she had when she was under the cult mind control, her personality was much different. It was much more aggressive. She wasn't her true self. And when she left the cult, it took her time to try and rediscover who she really was underneath all that. Oh, that's right, Antics. He is a former Mooney and was saved by a car accident. So a blessing in disguise, then, I guess. Antics says it gave his family access to him. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So it gave his family access to him during his recovery. Sort of similar then to Mike Brown's mom, Rosemary. That he managed to smuggle the Kindle into her when she was in hospital. That she was lucky she fucking survived and the cult didn't accidentally kill her with denying her medical care. Oh, right, Antics here. He was operating a vehicle on no sleep and very little food and fell asleep at the wheel. Fuck. I'd imagine that that's something that will be a high risk for a lot of Scientologists as well. They get very little sleep and food. Fuck. Here's Stephen Hassan is very understandable. You all understand Irish maybe. It's just about getting used to it. I do have kind of a broad country Irish accent, alright. And I do sometimes have a habit of talking fast, particularly when I'm talking to members of the public, because the way I see it is I've a small window of time to try and get my message across and try and implant on them why it is so important to spread awareness about the evils of Scientology and why it is I am out here protesting. So yeah, so I guess I do tend to talk really fast. There's a sort of, I guess, there's an urgency, if you know what I mean. That I know that there's a small window of time that I do have. Antics is saying mostly little food and lots of absolutely induced stress. Being told they're saving the world and under extreme attacks, so they live in constant fear. Absolutely antics, exactly. Absolutely horrific way to live. Yeah, exactly, Cathy. They film it in the castle in East Grimmage and then they, not East Grimmage, East Grimstead, and then they heavily edit it to make it look like to everybody there they're all shiny, happy people and whatnot. And as Cathy was saying earlier, and maybe they do Photoshop in people. They give the illusion that it was chock-a block, it was packed out. Absolutely antics. They can move people around to different orgs to view it, so it looks like more Scientology are in the area. Absolutely. Because I know for the event in each scrimmage, or each Grimstead, I keep calling it each scrimmage, maybe because it's a grim building. I know for the event in each Grimstead, they do encourage people from all over Europe to attend that one, where they do tend to hire buses for them. And like, for fuck's sake, that would be quite a distance if you're in Germany, Italy, Spain, to be travelling over to that event in each Grimstead, even by coach. Like, how many hours would that take them there and back? And then when you get there, then you have to fucking donate all whatever money you've left to them, and maybe even take out loans so you can donate money. And all for the chance that you might get to meet David Miscavige himself. Well, I guess you meet him from a distance with the security guards in attendance, blocking access to him. Pardon? Oh, they do make you sign a waiver, all right, yeah. And when they get your name and address, they'll hound you forever. They're always trying to entice people to come in and do courses. They're all about money. They want your money. Yep. Just chatting to a couple of young lads that stopped on the bicycles there. To just explain to them there that the cult is all about money. They want your money. So that's where I just tailor my message depending on the audience. I'm not terribly comfortable talking about abuses to kids, but everyone can understand the a money scam element. Oh, exactly, antics. They need the optics to be just right. Exactly. I know they try and all of their fake PR saying, "Oh yeah, we've opened all these new orgs in the last whatever years. Oh yeah, the Dublin org is fucking booming, lads. With all these their fake stats." Because you could very easily say, like, they're selling fuck all here. They're making fuck all money. If anything, they're making a loss. There's no way these guys are making a profit. But they can say, "Oh look, all these we've had 2 million people cross over the front doors." That stat may find sound impressive until you dig that and you realise, yeah. But 99% of that 2 million, they've gone in for free events. They haven't spent a penny in there, unless maybe they bought a bag of tater and a cup of tea. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and the other reason I don't like the Donna saying, I just remember just after I started to ask why I shouldn't stand at the driveway entrance. And I agree, by trouble. Yeah, it's where because here you can see you have the bicycle path there. Like that is a pretty damn fine. That's a wide pavement there. So I'm only taking up a small footprint. I'm not impeding anyone else's can walk by without me being in their way. The pathway down by the entrance is much narrower, and also because it is on a corner, you kind of blindsided from that side. Whereas here, I have clear visibility up and down, so it's very easy for me because I do have a look around every so often, just that I'm just aware that there's no one dodgy, say, creeping up on me, if you know what I mean. So I have much better visibility here. Down by the corner there, I'd be blindsided on the corner. So I just think it's for my own safety, and as well, I don't want to be accidentally harassing anyone. And plus, we know full well the cult will try and make out I was harassing people. And plus, here, I have much better visibility here of the general public as well. So my message is being seen by more people by me being here. Thanks very much, Miriam. You're making me blush. The Irish has been very smart, keeping distance. Yeah, I put a lot of thought into my protesting style and approach. It's with everything I do carefully consider things from as many different angles as I can think of. Oh, exactly. There is no question. Yeah, it's very clear here that I'm here as a peaceful protester, and I most definitely am not harassing anyone. I don't even. Do you know what? If someone paid me €100,000 to harass someone, I'd have to watch Google videos to find out how do you harass someone. I have absolutely no idea. It definitely is not in my DNA to be harassing folks. That's for sure. Cathy is saying she's used to the Irish and Scottish talking now, so I can understand. Absolutely fantastic, Cathy. We've educated you. We've educated you in the ways of the Irish accent. Absolutely. Now, Cathy, what will blow your mind? Listen to some of the Northern Ireland accents. Fuck, good luck with understanding that, mate. Because that does take quite a while for even for me to train my ear to understand. Don't try a double speed exactly. Absolutely, yeah, double speed. Wow, absolutely, absolutely. I did, Peter. I went all the way to Copenhagen for the Danish police because they are handsome. But you know what? They're a bit on the young side. I was tempted that if I was to invite them home, I'd have to cook them a lovely dinner, just to ask them, "Is your dad single?" Do you know what I mean? Oops. I just saying, I do not know what any of you are talking about. I understand every word. Absolutely, murmurs. It does break my heart seeing seeing the children inside. And I hate the Scientology, or not the Irish dancing events being on here. Absolutely. Am I nearly cut off, or am I going to be here all night trying to catch up and chat? Oh, hey, Ophelia, how are you? Miriam says, I love how easily Irish lets out the F bombs. I wonder if she is self-censoring at work. I try to be, but the F bomb is part of my natural dialect. So it's just my everyday kind of words. Do you know what I mean? And yes, in work they do joke that I should have a swear jar so that we can all go out for free lunch. Oh, hey Monica, how are you? I feel I feel you're saying to Marianne for fuck's sake, exactly. We do say for fuck's sake a lot here, and yeah, we do. That's it. We certainly do. Geez, I am still a bit behind. I see Antics is talking about tie-dye and COVID and cockroach bites. Dowson was talking to that nice older gentleman. Let me see if I quickly eyeball the just quickly scanning through the chats here. See can I catch up while it's still we still have the hours of daylight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to read the chat later. Jira gets every fifth word. Say potato. Potato. Yeah. A quick dig around Irish and found that there were Hindu temples and also Sikh temples in Dublin. Yeah, Sikh were probably the next religion that the Indians practice. And I do think that was a fantastic suggestion about spreading some awareness among the temples in Dublin. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just quickly scrolling through. Hey, Sonny Yellow, how are you? They can use it on ethics books as toilet paper. Oh, I'd say them books would be very tough on your ass. Probably rip the skin from your poor bum cheeks. Apologies, I hear you saying she can understand me, but sometimes I talk too fast. Ajira says she doesn't, but Joe will translate. Oh, that's a good question. I figure the Americans find it hard to understand the Irish accent. That is a good question. There's people leaving, isn't there? Oh, yes, I hope you didn't give them your name and address, lads. And I hope you never come back and visit this cult again. Joe was saying, I feel the Americans and even the English more south don't understand everything I say. And Joe would have a moderate Scottish accent. That would be fantastic, I to see. Hope we could all meet each other in person someday. That would be absolutely fantastic. Ice is in Wisconsin, next to Minnesota on the border. I'm going to have to look at a map of America to see where exactly that is. But yeah, one day, absolutely fantastic. They say if you don't like the weather in Ireland, wait 5 minutes. Exactly. Because it's no longer raining. It is gone a little bit on the nippy side. But I don't mind it being on the nippy side. Because that to me, that says, oh, I need to warm myself from the inside out. And what's the best way, chat, to warm yourself from the inside out? A wee cheeky damn of whiskey, lads. Miriam says I got to. Miriam says we've talked about going to Shiger in LA with Irish. That's far from Wisconsin. I definitely have to do. At the bare minimum, I have to do Chicago and LA. At first, I just need to find the pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. I just saying. I just saying I could get to Chicago easy. Nice. And Marion is saying, we will have to keep that in mind. Sol could use some extra hands out there. Absolutely, she could. I'm not sure I'll ever monetize eyes. I'm not in it for the money. There's by far better things that you guys could be doing with your money in this community space. So yeah, I don't think I'd be comfortable. I don't think I'd be comfortable monetizing, if you know what I mean. Absolutely. Hi, Anna Banana. Absolutely has been a fantastic day to protest here. It was a little bit windy there earlier, but not too bad. Just blew me poster down a little bit. Few drops of rain, but by and large, couldn't ask for better weather from this and coming up to the end of March. I guess I said won't be having Dave attending kids events. Wouldn't absolutely, I guess. He would be allergic to the kids. That is absolutely for sure. Oh, yeah, I could do with more subs, all right. Miriam, you're saying Irish needs more subs. You can share a channel on yours. It would be absolutely be much appreciated. And fundamentally, it's mainly just to try and feed into the way YouTube works and to try and spread out the message as far as we can. Because I know it kind of works differently in with the way YouTube has things regionalised. Because I know my lives get spread out a little bit differently when I'm in Ireland than say when I was over in Scotland. And the same, I noticed a difference over in Copenhagen. So it definitely does seem to be as well where you're located as well. Thanks. I think you're saying thanks. I have to recalculate. I haven't even checked when ours is. I think it might be 2 hours closer. I said a dream of visiting Ireland and Scotland one day. Oh, I hope you get to do it, Eyes. I really do. Don is saying, have you ever seen the tiny weenie samples at Costco? Blows my mind people that stand there and wait for one piece in whatever. And if it's chicken, don't think it, they aren't cooked well enough. Oh, similar here, Eyes, in the supermarkets. You'll see people queuing up and you'll see them walking around in a lap of their store to go back for another free sample. Hell no, I would not eat any of them free samples for love nor money. Absolutely not. Just quickly scanning through the chat. Thanks very much, Ice. Says Irish, you are dedicated. We appreciate you very much. Thanks very much, Ice. But this is it. We each do our own bit in our own way. Like I'm lucky enough in that I can come out here and protest. Not everybody can. And like even I really do need to start packing up soon because I'm tripping over my words. But I would view what you guys are doing. You're chatting away to me, keeping you company. You're watching these lives, you're commenting, you're sharing. That is just as equally as important as what I'm doing, being here, boots on the ground. Like I view modding for Miriam an important part of my activism as well, and for the other channels that I do mod for. Do you mean it is all vital, each and every one, and there's no one thing I would rate above another. We are all helping and contributing in our own way, and it all adds up. We're all part of a billion piece puzzle, if you know what I mean. And I hope it made sense there. I'm gonna have to read these chats later. Apologies, no offense, lads. I'm just scrolling through. Oh, fuck it. I just zoomed down to the end there, lads. I think I'm going to pack it up because one, I am starting to get cold. Two, it is 6:20. I've been out here nearly almost 3 hours now. And three, I really feel like I'm stumbling and forgetting my words. I'm finding it difficult to talk. I reached that point of mental exhaustion, I think. I'm just going to see if I zoom in now, can we see them books in any better detail? Because I don't know if with the fallen daylight here, does that make a difference? Maybe it's my eyesight, but that looks like it's a slightly more clear than it was earlier. But I still can't quite make out what's on them books. I'm going to do Google later and see, can I find anything that matches that image? To see, are they the new children's books? That thought sickens me, lads, if they are the new children's books that have come out. Jeez, that poor lady, she's not walking too good. I wonder if she's a Scientologist. More than likely she is. I wonder is that nice and overdosing as well infecting her. Definitely they don't encourage them to get proper medical help. So yeah, we're doing spring forward tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we'll have our spring forward. So yeah, that's a good point. So I wonder, yeah. So it means we'll get an hour less sleep, or it means is I'll treat myself to a sleep in. Oh, that's a good idea, Dan. I should show my signs once more. Absolutely, I will. We have I might still zoomed in. Fuck, I was. We have Roger there with his signs. He says, "Stop the abuse cult and no more kids in Scientology." And then we have this one here. We have Scientology is a cult, elder abuse, child abuse, and above everything else, it's a money scam. Hey, John, do a backflip. Oh, Jesus. Even when I was young and fit, I couldn't do a backflip. And then these are some of the more common Scientology front groups that they have, which is the Dynetics, Narcanon, Volunteer Ministers, Way to Happiness, Apply Scholastics, and the other ones are A Drug Free World, Truth About Drugs, Fight for Kids, Criminon, United for Human Rights, Youth for Human Rights. If I spelled youth wrong, I spelled youth wrong. The H and the T are back to front. Ah, sure. I can't spell. Big deal, I guess. And then we have Citizens for Human Rights. So they're all Scientology front groups. There, lads. And then this is a message then. Something that the Scientologists believe in is touch assist. It is not scientific. For pain relief, consult medical professionals. Stop the abuse, lads. And here I've just printed out the bite model and just sort of said what each of the categories does, and I've listed some examples there. And that's mainly for people walking by to have a bit of a read and just to get a better understanding how the cults work. And I do see people stopping by and having a read of those two forms, two signs rather. Oh yeah, and we have this fantastic website that Hag has put together, which is victimshavevoices.com. Survivor, and on there you'll find survivor stories and support resources and legal help that's available, and how to report Scientology abuses. So if you ever have been a member of Scientology, and in particular if you've ever been a Scientologist in the States, I highly recommend checking out victimsofvoices.com and pursuing, see is there a legal route you can go by. Maybe you can report their abuses to the FBI or pursue a case against Scientology in a criminal court, in a civil court. And then we have this sign here. We have cult Scientology. Scientology is a cult. Learn why we protest at fsciento.space, helping to end the abuses. So there are many people all around the world like me who come out here outside their local org protesting against the abuses of Scientology. And to find out about more of the channels like mine, highly recommend you check out fsciento.space. And then here we have, which is another one that some people look at. We have Lisa McPherson's story there printed out, which I think her story is important. And then, oh, me bottle of water in the way. And then we have this one here. We have Stop Forcing Disconnections. Child auditing is abuse. And no more kids in Scientology. I am actually thinking of making myself a sign that I can use as a sandwich board that I can wear on my front, and I'm thinking probably child auditing is abuse in big letters. That will probably be a good one to hang around my neck to be shown to the front of the Scientology, especially for when they have their kid-friendly events on. I think I'm going to start packing it up now because I'm getting tired. I'm getting cold and tired and reaching the point of exhaustion. Let's put Roger down there. And I'll just quickly pack it up there. So just bear with me when I quickly pack up my signs. I do like to leave the live running while I'm packing up, and until I'm just down the road a little bit away from this cult. just to prove that at all times I've remained on the public side here, and at no point have I done anything crazy like pole vault over the fence and cause damage inside in the cult premises. So I do like to just cover myself as much as I can. But we all know that these guys given half a chance, they'll lie through the fucking eyeballs, so they will. And I've just used the F word there again. Uh, oh, thank you, Roger. That's my posters. Oh, one more poster. Nearly forgetting about this one. Dee, 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 dee. There we go, Roger. Say bye, Roger. Now we bottles of water. Now, oops. There we go. And we have left nothing behind us there. We have everything taken away. There's no one in front here. And there's no one. That's what I like to see as I walk away. There's no one behind or in front of me, or even on that side. So I do like to walk away when there's no one in sight. That means then there's a less chance of anyone following me to see what direction I'm heading off into. So I do think these little things we can do just to make sure that we are safer here, because we know full well Scientology and also have followed people in the past when they've been at these protests. So it's always as well just to have that, just to be a little cautious. And you know what? It's no harm to be a little paranoid sometimes. You know what? If it keeps you safe, I can't see how it's a bad thing. Thanks very much, Miriam. Reminding everyone to very kindly tickle the like button. And if you haven't already, sub to my channel and share and tell all your friends. We'll help to spread their awareness. Yeah, so I've just been at the Cult of Scientology at their Dublin orb there today. Been out here for 3 hours now, so I have gotten I am rather tired, I have to say. Yeah, so it's Dublin, Ireland is where we are. Oh, my battery's running very low. I've been live for over 3 hours. My battery did well to last this long, lads. Let's get rid of that message on me. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. It means a lot having you guys here with me, keeping me company. Just did a quick look behind me there just to make sure there's no one in sight. I do like to just make sure that there is no sign of anyone about. Just that little extra measure. I think there's no harm just to be a little bit cautious, because we all know what the cult tactics are like, and it's a good idea always just to be safe and just to be mindful and aware of your surroundings, if you know what I mean. I hear they're digging another hole. They do love digging holes, these guys do. Wonder what they're doing. I think this is out here last time as well, wasn't it? They were doing this work. This is what I don't like about the world works. I don't know what's like anywhere else, but they never say what exactly is they are doing. Maybe they use some pipes or something, who knows. Look at this though, lads. A lovely park in there. Look at that view. That's a lovely view inside in there. Let me see it. Right. Yeah. Way is clear behind me there as well. So I think I'll end this live now soon. And I'll have to have a go back and have a proper read of all the comments. Sorry there, lads, I never caught up on the comments. I was ever so slightly busy today, talking to the fine people of Ireland and helping to spread awareness. I definitely will go back and catch up on the comments I missed. Because I do appreciate you guys being here, joining me and chatting and keeping me company. So thank you all very much, and I'll be back out next weekend. So I'm not sure yet if that will be Saturday or Sunday I'll be back out. So I want to say thank you all very much, and Roger says thank you too.